Hey guys, I appreciate you hanging out while we play some Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle. Chomp champs. And you hear the echo of the roar of the stadium. And we're going to represent Pac-Man in this game, Mega Tunnel Battle. We are representing the normal Pac-Man skin if you've never seen it. Watch the content in the playlist and you'll see that every time that I play this game I represent as regular Pac-Man, and I have for every battle. And it's one of those things that we kind of pride ourselves here on, as being the guy that's representing you, Pac-Man. And we thank you, Bandai Namco Entertainment, for providing this amazing experience for us. So we're going to go ahead into the tier here and see that we are already Chomp Champ as far as the tier goes. And the last one we finished in 8th. It was at the end of we've been building streams, so I think it's not necessarily game fatigue. It's just the journey is going to have its ups and downs, and that wanted to remind me that I probably, when the whole spreadsheet of the road to the top is done, that's probably the only time I've ever finished in 8th place. So that's pretty cool to have that there. That stream had some really interesting things, and it also helps me as a jump off point to tell you that, for as far as the legacy goes, we ate a different fruit for the first time. So you also, I don't want to tell you what it was, because that would spoil it if you haven't watched the other stuff. So it encourages you to see the build as to how far we've gotten up the fruit chain. Ultimately, there's some milestones we're looking for, which is 50,000 points and also 100,000 points, which apparently will have some really cool effects as far as trophies go when we're all questing for that first platinum. I don't believe that anybody's achieved the platinum at all yet, because of some of those feats like that that's tied to that you can't really smurf or spoof through. So I'm really excited to see, like, whoever I'm going to be the person that builds those 50,000 and 100,000 point barriers with. So hopefully you're enjoying the journey so far. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the leaderboard and see what kind of moves have been made and where people are going as far as, like, if they're trying to go for the top. We know who's at the top usually when you're following along, so I can't wait to see what's going on now. Here we go. Don't have to worry about the view because we're at 6:05. Mr. Socrates has given up as far as we've concerned at this point in the time. It doesn't mean he's given up forever. His personal life could have gotten a hold of him, and we don't know if something like that is going on, or we don't know if they had fatigue going all the way up to 489 and then just making sure that they just wanted to stay there and be in the top. Sometimes people can be in the top of the board and be in the splash page and be enough with it, and then not worry about that's the record that they're going for. They realize that there's super huge people up there at the top, and they do not want to try to compete at that level, and they are just happy being on the splash page. And we can appreciate that, because if you go along with the journey, you'll see that that was one of some of our first goals, was just to put the Vid-Bits on the splash page when you look at here for the global competition. So not only we did that, we are running away now with the #1 position as the PlayStation player, and our next highest competition, somebody like Ava, is 385 and 6, as we are almost double that in wins, and you can see the quality of the wins are pretty high. I like numbers, so 44222 is pretty cool. Gotta respect that Eve Branch is making some moves. What I'm now gonna do is go down to the bottom real quick and see if I can get to, and let's show we can feature the top 10 undefeated people. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to go down a little bit now. Uh-oh. 27 was like when we got to the 10th person last time. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now 29th is the lowest ranked undefeated person, and that's CH Shy or Shatai, or let's see, I don't want to mispronounce it. You can see it there. CHAATI Chai T, and it's 191 and 0. That's pretty impressive. And at the number 10 spot, number 9 would be Ellie E1, which has been steady moving up. Had a dub as the last one, so that's number 9 at 196 and 0. Number 8 is Freight Train 799 at number 8 at 208 and 0. So they crested the 200 and 0 barrier, which is pretty cool, at number 8. Number 7 is Stolen Shot at 209 and 0. So those guys are going neck and neck. And we also have a trio there that's still competing really tight. So that's pretty cool. So number 7 is competing there with Freight and Ellie, and it's pretty cool to see that they're really close. And I'm really excited to see who's going to pull out in that trio there. Really, we are trying to feature now at this point in the community and start to build the community. So hopefully you know, Bandai Namco can appreciate that we're trying to build and blossom the community and feature some of the top players here to inspire some of the people that are in the lower tiers that there really is a community with this game, and we're trying to make it blossom, and you know, we're trying to fight the negativity about it. So that's number 7 is Stolen Shot. Number 6 coming up here is Lucifer Heaven at number 6. It's just really cool that they got 231 and 0. You know, they're one of the people that's up here and, you know, past 15,000 rating, and it's really cool to see. Then number 5 is coming up here. Have the page way up here. Is number 5 is David at 305 and 0. So they finally broke that 300-bit win barrier that, unfortunately, I hate to say it, and just to, you can see it with the negative 25. P-Man 454, who was in a trio of undefeated people, unfortunately suffered a loss before they could cross the 300 barrier, and we really lament that. And Chief was able to put the stamp on that lamentation over that situation. Or really, we felt really sad about how that felt about for that situation, how we would feel for P-Man when he was unfortunately held that one loss right before he hit that 300 barrier. So, you know, shout out to him for putting a lot of respect on the game and trying really hard to execute it at a high level. So there's David there. And then we got the top 3, obviously. It's Mr. Socrates, 1988, who we passed up to be the number 1 PlayStation player in the world, coming in at the number 3 spot with almost 500 and 0 at 49 and 0. And you can see that they're really awesome as a player. And we're gracing the number 2 spot, and very thankful and blessed and humble and appreciative to be there at 605 and 0. With a really cool 44,222 as heart rating. We are the 3rd people to achieve a rating of 444, over 40,000. So that's really cool that we get that milestone to as our accolades. And then we all have Kofi as the person that we look up to, and you know, really cool as far as undefeated streaks go, with the 827 and 0. So I hope that you appreciate the recap at the beginning of the stream, kind of let you follow along at what's going on. If we are going to give ourselves a little pat on the back, I guess we could say that we're 3rd globally, we're 2nd locally, which in our situation is the U.S. Eastern Division, which we're only behind Kofi now. So we got Kofi behind us, or in front of us, and then he is obviously the person that's in front of us here in this division. That's the only reason why we don't look at that anymore. So when you see local, that's because we're local in the U.S. Eastern Division, and then we're also, so 3-2, and then 1 is the first place player in this game in the PlayStation platform, you know, placing now only behind 2 other people. So that's the chase, that's the race, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to hopefully get some good games, chomp some ghosts. We're going to have a snack pack, so that's at least 2 pack snacks, which is 18 games. You know, 18 holes of golf, 18 games here with Pac-Man, and each of those pack snacks, and that's where we try to rack up 18 wins in 90 minutes from the time I say we go. And I hope that you guys are going to enjoy those. We got some good games and push ourselves closer to the top of the leaderboards here as the Vid-Bits try to claim the top spot, and will then inevitably do that in this game, Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle Chomp Champs here by the wonderful people at Bandai Namco Entertainment. I'm Brian from the Vid-Bits, and let's go, man. Let's get some good games. I hope I hyped you up, and I didn't do the super crazy announcer voice because I'm saving that for my Dave the Diver session. Hopefully you'll check that out. It's a segue into that entertainment, but because we have some time with you, I won't go into all the things that we offer right now, but I do use this platform as a way to advertise some of the other things that we offer as a brand, because I feel like it's important to let you know that we have so much varied content here between me and Braden, who is the father-son duo that run the Vid-Bits, and it's your source for all kinds of video game entertainment here on YouTube. No worries, Panther. I'm glad I got a chance to check it out. Also, to segue into that, I will be looking at chat almost exclusively in between games so that I don't mess up with anything. But Panther, thank you for hanging out. You guys, I appreciate when you do, and don't worry about it. I never get mad when you miss them, because the Vid-Bits are always firing on all cylinders as full-time YouTubers, so the program is always flowing. And whenever we see you in any of the streams, we're always appreciative when you give us time. So don't feel like there's any reason to stress out about that. We all have things going on, and you know, you hang out when you can, and we're very thankful to have you when you're here. That's why you Sparkster, kids. If you do not do that, regardless of the situation, and you may not always be able to close the gap, but it's important to do that because you can at least get the biggest speed boost. It also changes how they may think that you're going to turn, if that makes sense. Hold on one moment, please. All right. So the first pack snack will end on 6:23 as far as win goes, and then we'll end on 6:41 for the stream. So there's the milestones if you want to know annotation-wise. So you should be able to come back and check out after the first one. It should be roughly about 90 minutes from when we started that. I don't know the math on that, but I am trying to give you a little bit of, roughly, because I'm going to power through these because I have the Dave the Diver thing I have to do before the end of my shift here in the Vid-Bits. Before I go to my schmoo job after my slumber time. So I just want to let you know 6:41 is the end game for this specific stream, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with me now. So 23 and 41 is the milestones for this one. 23, 41 milestones for this one. Chomp, chomping on. Pacman. Eat a watermelon and a banana. I can't wait to get the key. It's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be just gloriously superb. It's such a sublime moment because it's definitely one of the prerequisites for getting a platinum in this. So, and I don't have very many platinums, and I would actually note for the Vid-Bits account this will be the first platinum trophy. So that is very important that we don't do another platinum on the Vid-Bits account before I get that as the first one. Not to be like, oh, the title of the video in the future will say the Vid-Bits first platinum is that we got all the trophies and Chomp Champs, but it's pretty much what it's going to be. Spoiler alert, or what is that Paul Heyman say? That's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. I love that. Because I used to get mad at it. It used to frustrate me because I'd be like, dude, you really are breaking kayfabe and spoiling it. It's like, no, it's in a way that I used to do the same thing with somebody I managed. I would go out and tell the crowd, you're upset, and I'm sorry, this is going to be a little bit big words and stuff, and I'm not trying to talk over anybody's head, but I mean, this is kind of the promo, the gist of it is like, you are upset at the inevitability, kind of like out of the Matrix, Mr. Anderson, that is the sound of inevitability, when he drops him in the train tracks and it looks like the train's going to hit him, and like, so I'd go out there and he'd be the champion, or going for the belt, and I tell everybody, you're upset because it's inevitable that my client is going, or my charge or whatever, I can't remember what I called him at the time. I was probably trying to find the perfect buzzword to fit the situation, but I would be like, you're mad at the inevitability that he's going to win, and you paid your hard-earned money to root for the hero as much as possible, but you know that inevitable he's going to be the one that wins, and you have no way to control it, nothing you could do about it. And he would just win, and it was one of those things that would be like, I knew that it was going to be a situation that was going to get him riled up, and it was so much fun provoking him like that. So I guess when I'm not taunting the people that are ahead of me in the leaderboard, but I have curated this in a way where it's like a storyline. It's almost like a wrestling storyline where we're trying to fight for the belt, and I want the belt. I want the handshake from people at the wonderful people at Bandai Namco, and I want the plaque and all the cool stuff because I was able to put the Vid-Bits on top of the leaderboard in this really cool game. You know, it's like a new title. It's a, you know, I've seen the commercial. Does the commercial get you hyped? I'm super hyped. When I watch the commercial as a fan, I'm like, ooh, can't wait to play that game. So don't delay. Don't, you know, be sure to not get super sucked into the negativity that you see online, and just take my word for it. This game is fun. Have fun playing it. I have put time into it because how much fun it is. Not just because I'm good at it. If I wasn't super good at it, I still think it's cool because back in the day, in like Xbox 360 arcade days, when Bomberman came out, you know, it was all about getting cutesy little skins and being the fact that you knew Bomberman was an iconic character, but getting to like make little cutesy versions of him. So even if that's just your bag, there's no reason to feel sad to shy into that and not be super competitive like me and a Pac-Maniac here in Pac-Land, trying to be Pac-Man and rule the roost and get his #1 title back as the only unskinned Pac-Man. Get yourself up the courage to check out this game and get yourself a skin. Find your favorite combination of skins to like work for and get your pack coins for, and spend them not like me, the hoarder with a lot of over 100,000 pack coins. Spend them and buy new, you know, mazes, and you can actually change your skins and stuff. And when I say these things, they're not things that I'm shilling you extra money for. If you want to spend a little bit extra money, they have some wonderful cosmetics in the store that you can get from some of the other properties from the wonderful folks over at Bandai Namco. And if you don't pick that, you can just pick the fact that once you paid for the base game, you can use your coins to unlock a lot of those things. And they finally have a game where they actually give the ability to unlock stuff within the game, and it's not extra. So there is the extra, but then you don't have to do the extra. So, you know, check it out for yourself. I'm definitely showing you how cool it is, or I wouldn't put the time in. I'm not sponsored by them, and I hope that one day we are. We're really fighting hard for them to have a portfolio to show them of how hard we're working with some of the things that before we even started talking about it kind of naturally fell together here at the Vid-Bits, and we decided as a team that we love enough to try to put, you know, we're gonna shoot our shot, you know, throw our best shot in the ring. But first, we're kind of putting our money where our mouth is and trying to compete at high levels in certain games and create some momentous conquests. Bray with the Dark Souls to the end of the Elden Ring DLC, you know, conquest, and then me here trying to become the Pac-Man road to #1. So hopefully you're hanging out with us, and we really appreciate having the opportunity to create our dreams through, you know, our video gameplay. Ooh. 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 Oh. Oop. Oh. 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 Ooh. I'll give it to you, shady pancake. Oh, that's like, is that like the cousin of the awful waffle from Salute Your Shorts? The shady pancake? Like, what is that? I don't even want to know. Like, is that the one that looks like a pancake and is stuffed with something disgusting? Like, what would you put in there? Like, I don't know, like mayonnaise or tuna? That'd be disgusting. Yeah, take that, shady pancake, ruining my appetite of all the possibilities that could be within. Yes, you are the stick fight master, Matthew, and if you want to check that out, that's a segue, and every time that Matthew will talk about this in perpetuity, that's a segue to you checking out the episode where he whips me absolutely in the stick fight game. We hopefully that you will check that out. It's from Game of Day May, the one that we just shot, day 18, and we have another one coming for you, another tasty treat on the menu here coming from the Vid-Bits tomorrow for day 19 of Game of Day May. Thank you, Matthew, for the shameless plug of your awesome achievement, and I'm not saying that with negativity or spite, but now I have a secret desire to train up so I at least perform better than you can see if you check out that video that's live here on YouTube. haven't. I see that chat's moving, and that's what I can actually do. Is I have a peripheral chat and a primary chat. That way I can know it's moving, and I will make sure to address you as soon as this game's over. I got 2. It's gonna be ending on I think it's 23 and 41. Sorry, Braden was he's co-producing, and I got in my earpiece, so to speak, in the studio. What's going on there? But other than that, I'll address when I see chats moving. I'll make sure that you know I'm gonna address it as soon as I can get in between games. But I mean, I'm the only person that's juggling chat while also playing this, and I don't know why, but it's like part of the insurmountable pressure I don't care to put myself under to make this one of those feats that you're like, yep, the Vid-Bits did that. They did this crazy ass feat. But I love the fact that people are, gonna be able to help me out there. So 2 pack snacks, that's 2 90-minute sessions. If I'm min-maxing those sessions, they can be a little loose. When it's a little loose, it's not gonna look like that. But I mean, I'm doing this all when I'm formulating it for editing purposes in the future. So we're trying to make it so that when the journey is going to be cataloged, it's a lot easier to look at for historical purposes too. Because I mean, YouTube does have other ways that people are cataloging things. We have, not a shameless plug, but we have a year of database over a game that was shut down in the eShop of the 3DS. So it's one of those situations where, for historical reasons, we're trying to make sure that for everybody, and we're gonna make sure that we talk about how we can not necessarily license per se what we do, because it is worth the time that we put into it. And you're not, I would talk about the logistics of that too when those things are asked, when people from a mass database or like an annex or an ABI or a codex is created, that we can offer that too for the whole preservation aspect of it, which is another thing that we do. So yeah, it's going to be a pack snack after a pack snack. So when it's more than one pack snack, it's called a snack pack. I'm formulating the pack snack because it's the easiest thing to say, the 90 minutes, right? So like if I'm in a situation where, not when I am in the situation where we're just defending, and I can just play an 18 game session to keep moving us forward, and also keep the stream alive of keeping this game going every day. If at least it's just Pac-Man representing the game, and that's why I'm saying until it's shut down. So it's inevitable that these games get shut down, right? So we're never looking at that as a thing that we look forward to having ever. So like we're gonna see how long we can get that streak going, and so far we've been going since, as far as I know, continuously, at least every day, like if not like multiple times a day since the 8th, which is the soft launch. The hard launch to me was like when you had early access from the earliest point, so you had a week access before like the 8th. So we started, and my brain still hasn't really looked at the data, but it was between the 8th and the 9th. And you could have paid $10 extra than everybody to get the ability to start posting to the leaderboards a whole week before that. Let me take a drink of water. I need to remind myself, like I used to choke up when I'm speaking along, trying to get everything going on for you guys and understand what we're talking about, and then I forget to take a drink of water. Please don't do that. It's important to do that. But 23 and 41 are the markers, just trying to let you know some of the mission of what we're doing here with especially this specific feed, but also using it as a way to utilize my time and the platform to show you that we have so much more to offer as well with our content and our programming blocks. So appreciate you guys hanging out. Got Pac-Man fever. A pack snacks also, if I say, hey, I'm going to try to also, when I say it, like, I'm going to try to always min-max those and then take the breaks in between them, because it's not that bad to sit here at 90 minutes at a time if I use, proper control of, not to be too much information like bladder functions and stuff like that. And we're always being healthy here and taking sleep alternation cycles here in the compound and the laboratory and all that. So, we're very healthily doing this, guys, because I know that we're approaching, some of your favorite YouTubers have been on the platform for a long time, and I'm not saying that we have we're always growing with production value, so people can say the ratio to killer and filler, but we put ourselves out there raw with our gameplay and the length of our gameplay and the length of our streams and trying to build emotion to these experiences with these IPs and these different companies. I think it's in a different way, and also in the same way as other people are doing it. And if you look at the length of some of those people that have been doing the content for 15 years and only having sometimes 5,000 videos, we're approaching 1,000 videos across our 2-year period on YouTube, and we're just continuing. This is just the beginning. So I hope that you guys are going to join with us. And when we say, where was I in the side of Vid-Bits history on YouTube's journey to the top, that too, as far as the father-son duo gaming niche and trying to be so accessible to everybody else in the community and promote all the cool things that we do. I hope that you can say that you're on the right side and not hating on us for no reason when we're just trying to stay in our own lane and enjoy what we're doing and trying to spread joy and love and comfort to others and give them a platform to reach their highest potential. So thank you for everybody giving us the ability to do that. All the people that's joined and the members and the donos every day. And I'll shout them out more later. I definitely will give some love to them. And I just want to say, thank you for helping me and my son live our dreams as YouTube creators. And I just want you to know that you can live your dreams too if you can just get a network of people that support you and help you let your dreams shine through and not, help you succumb to fear and all those horrible things like doubt and procrastination, because at the end of the day, we tend to shoot down the people around us that try to procrastinate us towards the things we want to do. Unfortunately, I don't know why. It just seems to be a byproduct of the situation. So let's try not to lean into that, and when other people want to try to actuate their dreams, let's not try to tell them all the negative reasons why they can't do it. Let's try to pump them up, and the wave will lift them up. We can all rise together, fall together, and learn together and grow together, and that's pretty much what the Vid-Bits is all about also. So it's about a lot of things, but that's another one of our core beliefs, is to help each other and leave it better than it was when we got there. So, we're doing that by showing great gameplay instead of hiding tech. We're anti-gatekeepers here. We don't hide tech when we are in the situation of doing it when we're doing it live. Obviously, we're not doing editing, not showing like certain secrets and stuff. So I think it's really cool that we're having high score competitions in an anti-gatekeeping environment, because really it goes back to old school arcade gameplay when you had somebody standing over your shoulder and you couldn't hide what you're doing. They could even see how you were actuating buttons, so that there's no way that you could hide your tech. And you really were competing against people that were over your shoulder, kind of mean mugging you and being mad that you were able to do something that they weren't able to do. Well, a lot of our videos, we're explaining you how we're doing those things, and if you're seeing us do these great feats, we're giving you the way to compete with us. As you saw earlier, I was learning a game for the first time, and it would happen to be a Game a Day May game, but also a first impression of a game that I'd never played before, which was Stick Fight the Game. One of our subscribers decided that he wanted to buy the game based on our recommendation through Game a Day May, and then we faced off in it. He got in there in real time, and he just whooped my butt. And he also said that it was his first impression because he was doing it live with us, so it was almost like a dual first impression. And he also whipped my butt, so I get to humbly brag about Matthew and put him in a new folder in the Vid-Bits called Humble Brags for when these situations occur. And I think that's really cool that experience really happened in the fly and organically, and when people can look back at us, they can say they watched us curate these moments that we're just letting happen organically instead of overproducing them and just being susceptible to the energy and love of the people that we're creating in our group. So thank you so much to Matthew for curating that experience. So that's probably the last time I'll shout out that experience in this stream, but I wanted to make sure I double tapped it and let you know that folder is coming soon, and that you can see that and know that those type of experiences can happen to you when you hang out with the Vid-Bits, instead of feeling that reach is impossible. Of course, as the subscriber base and the members grow, it'll be so that we'll have to have more technical aspects to line that up. But while it's a small effort here and it's a small subscriber base, it shows you how likely you are to be able to say that when this was first starting to happen, that you were some of the people that got to participate first. And we're humbled and appreciated, and we're thankful and blessed to be able to do those things with you guys, because we enjoy it just as much as you do. I'm going to move in silence a little bit. Don't want to, overextend myself, but it's very important for us to use these platforms to sell the brand, because the brand is very important to us, and it will continue to move that way because we are dedicated to doing this for the long haul, and we're very thankful, like I said, to be here. I don't want to be in this maze anymore. I don't want to. oh, it's just me and him, I'm stuck in here. If you don't know, the snow maze is like my least favorite, not because I don't think the graphical design or the season is bad. I love this season, especially when you have children and it's around Christmas time. The mysticalness of Christmas is awesome. But when you have to worry about white power pellets against a snowy background that's blue, it kind of all blends together, and it's really hard for you to see the line sometimes. And unfortunately, entire barbell is not doing anything to help me finish it, so I can get out of here. And because it's at the end of the game, and that's where we were together when all the other mazes dissolved, we're stuck in here together. So I'm going to just let him do his own thing and see if we can split some screens and see if we can get some fruit racked up. I have a couple guys, so he feels safe enough to mess around with that a little bit. So instead of trying to chomp Mr. Entire Barbell, and for some of this pack snack, I'm going to try a new thing. I feel safe to do it since we're in second place, and unfortunately he's not able to hang. So that's all I will say about the new thing until you see me try to do the new thing some more. Pacman's trying some new things for victory number 609, and occasionally some other times that you've seen it in the stream, the new thing that we're messing with. Dancing around some of those sub goals here. $23 and $41. Those are the milestones again, guys, for this pack snacks, back to back, which we call a snack pack. I just love it because it's kind of fun, bouncing the words around, trying to have fun. It just reminds me of like the old school bumpers from back in the day for Cartoon Express and the USA Network, where they would have like a bunch of all the Hanna-Barbera and properties, and it was just like a jamboree of fun. I try to be bouncy and bubbly when I can. I know you've seen a lot of range of emotions from us because nobody knows how to handle it when they see that they put hard work into YouTube and it's starting to pay off, and they've just done it selflessly without trying to worry about the money, but being very susceptible bust for when it comes and very transparent about where it goes and what we're trying to do with it. And I'm very thankful to be in that situation as well. So, to finally see that hard work paid off, it's hard not to be more bouncy and bubbly once you've, pushed through your personal fears and just embraced yourself and bet on yourself and gone all in and, grabbed your ego and just said, hey, we can do this. And I think that that's one of those things that we're very happy to show as part of the message here too, which and then everything else will just flourish the brand where more people will be putting their content on YouTube and eventually getting to our point and actuating their dreams. And if you could see what we've done in year 2, imagine what happens when we're in year 7. So thank you very much for being part of that journey. Yep, that's definitely Chief after a late night stream. It is Chief's bedtime. He's Captain Groany. If Pac-Man was consuming caffeine, it would be a speedy pack. I pretty much on the climb up spent the majority of the speedy packs exclusively when I actually grab them on the maze and not storing them, but I'm trying to get my confidence to store them and use them as an actuated power-up and a stored function, and it seems to be a lot more fun, but it also layers in not trying to change what you do and staying in your lane, but adapt the way. It's like it's a fine line. I know we keep saying stay in your lane, but obviously when you're doing games where you build off of what you're doing, you have to adapt your strategy too. So I want to make sure that when it's applicable, I'm staying in my lane, but sometimes I know like, oh, I gotta change my lane, so that is the same thing too. Knowing that sometimes you may not understand the rhyme or reason for why you do what you do, but especially in some of those situations in life where you don't know what's going on, and it's just kind of coming at you in random chaos, and you're not sure the right move. Maybe you just keep staying in your lane, and hopefully you have a good support system. I'm very thankful that here at the Vid-Bits, me and Bray get to bounce off of each other for ideas, and sometimes we butt heads, and other times we completely are gelled in the same persuasion, in the same situation, in the same direction. And I'm very thankful that we have iron sharpening iron, but also the ability to keep our egos in check. So I highly suggest you find one of those. Most of the people that don't have them in the form of children call them best friends. Your children are your best friends. You can't have more than one. You can have more than one best friend when it's your children. And I know I've heard the cliche that your children can't be your best friends, but I know in today's day and age, as far as like who gets you the most, the relationship between a parent and their child seems to be when it's in a proper situation, like one of those situations that you would find yourself with like your best friend from school or whatever. And then let's not get into reasons why people could say that's a bad thing. Anything's a bad thing when it's not done the right way, when it's put into some sort of weird scenario. We're not to discuss that or to get into that, but I'm very thankful that we have the relationship that we have, because I need people to keep me grounded. I don't need yes men all the time, and there's times that I think I have a really good idea cooking, and it's on one of the beakers and the tables back in the lab, and he's just like, nope. And you guys don't ever hear about it because he actually logics me out of it being a bad idea. Something like that would be like, if the channel had started earlier, it would be covering the game Anthem. I was going to spend a lot of money in it. And he's like, don't you do that, no. And I'm like, why? You just don't want me to have fun with the game that you want when it begin? And like, then I was trying to logic that out, and he pulled the plug on it before it went there. And that's nothing against the people that made it or whatever, but it's like, some people have their finger on the pulse of something and some other people don't. So and if that, well, I will segue into a series that we have in the playlists here at the Vid-Bits called Trial Tuesdays, which has just started, and that's one where we find out about a game and we go to the shops and we jump in there and we download a demo like anybody can. You download the demo and you basically go through it and you think about whether or not it's going to be worth your time. Sometimes it's to keep you hyped before a game is released, and other times it's because a game's been out for a while and you don't want to waste your money because we haven't reviewed it. We're reviewing it too, and that's also helping us know whether or not we want to do that content in the future, or give you the APB about whether or not you want to be involved with it based on how we feel about it. So I highly suggest you check out some of those Trials Tuesday. The last one I think that was up is about the Rugrats game, which we will definitely be doing. We will be doing speed runs on that game, guys. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. I'm getting super hyped. I wish I could have got us the physical edition. We could have done a unboxing video, but unfortunately it's really expensive now, which should like mock the old school Nickelodeon orange VHS case. But I highly suggest you check that out too if you don't want to look at all of them. If I had to throw you at one right away, I would say the Rugrats one is pretty cool because you get to see an HD style and then a retro style that looks like it could be put right on an NES cartridge, and supposedly exactly has been done in that manner through limited run games where you can actually play it on a Nintendo, which is amazing. So that's pretty cool. It's got to be a different experience because obviously you can't put the HD one on there too, so it would be just the Nintendo-fied graphics. So I think that that's amazing that they did that. It's a game that looks just like it would have come out on the Nintendo if they were making proper Nickelodeon games. Not to discredit the Nickelodeon that was making the games back then with the graphical capabilities, but nowadays you can make a lot more clean versions of those. And speaking of clean versions of those, I also will segue into a company that we are not sponsored for, but I enjoy something that you will see in the future here in the Vid-Bits, and that's Retro USB, who created the Nintendo AVS, which will make it so that when you see some of the great feats that we do on the Nintendo, be produced in amazing HD quality. So also we were in the area and got to get this at a local place called Arcade Legacy, so shout out to Jesse Baker for giving us the opportunity to purchase that at an amazing price. So if you're ever, when we were visiting, was in the Sharonville area in Ohio, I hope you will go check those guys out. He does a great thing for the community and has an amazing arcade, and they have so much to offer, in a community way. I'm really happy to see that there's places like that that can prop up and they live their dream of being over our arcades, and that's just amazing. So shout out to them. just trying to give some love, man. It's not all about monetization and it's not all about co-branding, but when it makes sense, it's cool. But when it makes sense just to give people props for the things that they've done for you, it does make sense too. It's the right thing to do. You know, I think that a lot of people shy away from getting credit to other people, and you know, if you think about it, giving credit is the easiest way for you to lift somebody up. It's the easiest way to do it, right? You're not sure how you want to lift somebody up, just give them credit for something that they've done to influence you in your life, and then that's just the easiest way to do that. So that's a little bit of a little pearl of wisdom for you to think about today. Maybe marinate before you go to sleep after this pack snack if you're not hanging around for the whole snack pack. But if you're hanging around, you know, I'm not going to wax intellectual the whole time. I feel like I've gotten to the point where I'm getting super zen now because I'm honing in on the victory. So, you know, these are going to be a lot more lo-fi, but when I do feel like there's nuggets of wisdom there that I'm personally meditating on while I'm flowing through the maze, I will let those out because I'm unapologetically but authentically me, and I hope that you are too. But always be willing to apologize if somebody can engage in a healthy discussion as to why you're being ignorant or wrong about something. Just wrecking through 6:11, so 12 more, and that will be the end of the first pack snack. Getting them pack snacks. Gonna sing my own song, can't see me back. Gonna pack snacks. Gonna make them up, hope they're not whack. See, I can just do it like on the fly. And if you're hanging out and hearing that, then you're like, what? Listen to this guy being this way and he's all crazy. Is that what they say? Yeah, he's got Pac-Man fever and I'm a Pac-maniac. And we're rolling and hanging out here with you guys. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. So. Ooh, God, that's the whole reason why I didn't bounce back in there. Jeez. Oh, man. Don't get it. Don't get it. Don't get it. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. Let's get the hell out of here. Jeez. Save the drama for your Pac-Mama. Whew. Fellows, that was very, very close. Closer than I would have liked to have had happen. Hopefully we get an extra man soon. We need some life insurance. Here he comes. Here comes the extra mans. Is it gonna happen soon? Let's get the chaser. Speedy Ghost will be our friend in case we're having some sort of confrontation with another pack. There's a +1. The RNG hung out with us today. RNG, he's your buddy. RNG, hopefully it's not cruddy. RNG. Alright. Caught there in the corner. Okay, let me get it, let me get it. Nope, that's third place finish, guys. Fourth place finish. Jeez. Ugh. Braden kind of came in and sat in stream for a little bit and saw, and he thought that he, based on some of the tech that he's watched and the time that he was watching, he thought that they tweaked the Ghost AI a little bit. I believe it's possible. I believe all things are possible. The goal on this pack snack is 23. That will move us from where we were before, 605 to 623 will be 18 wins, and then we'll do another one of those from 23 to 41, and we will call it a sesh. So 2 pack snacks together, so a snack pack of those, and then that'll be the goal of the stream. We're just trying to close the gap more. If we're looking here on the leaderboard, and we have some more ground to gain to get closer to be able to take Kofi as the #1 undefeated player, and then ultimately take out the champ. And they've been giving me some time to mix some ground up, so that's what I'm doing. I would like to do more than that, but I was also going to try to do a Dave stream, which kind of now may be pushing the programming block a little bit until after I get home from my schmo job and Braden does some of his Dark Souls stuff, and then after we do the Game of Day May game, so will probably be after the Game of Day May game, before the end of the Sunday in the Eastern United States time zone. So I'm thinking now that Dave's stream is going to be pushed, so we're just going to finish up this snack pack, so 2 pack snacks, and then I will call it my programming day at the end of that, even though it's bleeding into technically Sunday. So that's the thing over here. We have a flow state with a schedule, so sometimes things move around, and we do apologize because we are kind of catering to always an audience of one with ourselves, because we would be doing these games and playing these things anyways. We're just trying to let you be part of it as we curate it and do it live. So hopefully that you enjoy that and understand. We apologize for the inconvenience on the delay on the day of the diver. I definitely feel like I've gotten a lot of my voice back, and so maybe another day is what's needed to be able to give you your best in case some new residents or some of our old favorites return, and I can give them justice for that performance, because I do take that seriously and enjoy that thoroughly. So thank you very much for continuing to watch and support us as we curate the programming blocks that feature your favorite games and your favorite developers, and that's one of our missions here at the Vid-Bits. So again, thank you. Good question. Good question about what the goal is of the stream. The goal is always to push towards Kofi and Mint Daddy and take the #1 spot. That's the road to the top. That's Mega Tunnel Battle road to the top. It's going to be the #1 spot, putting the Vid-Bits on the #1 spot, so we get so much recognition that we can rule the roost and be Pac-Man, unapologetically Pac-Man in a game where, as you can see, like Famous Student is like gussied up as like a dragon, with the goggles, and instead we're Pac-Man, and we get to represent him, while everybody else was out playing this game and picking all these costumes up. Pac-Man's been out on a PR tour, tearing it up and hanging out with all different kinds of people and making a bunch of great connections in the world of out there, and putting it up on socials for everybody to see. So I highly suggest you check that out on Pac-Man and his official socials like at Facebook and whatnot. And I think that it's amazing too to see that, and I hope that that's one of those things that when we get to hang out with Pac-Man, he can make me laugh, and I can get to sit there and shake hands with Pac-Man and high five him, give him a too sweet, and just be like, that's really cool that we got to represent in this amazing game by our good friends at Bandai Namco, Pac-Man, Mega Tunnel Battle, Chomp Champs for, in this case, we're ranking as the #1 player on the PlayStation platform, and we are 3 globally, and we are 2nd locally, only behind Kofi and Mint Daddy. And that's the journey, that's the goal, to keep pushing towards winning the finish line, hitting the tape, and being the #1 pack, and putting Pac-Man way ahead of everybody else in the leaderboards, and not having to worry about that, you know, worried about the competition. The #1 pack, showing you all the tech while we wreck and we talk about it, and continue to be able to have fun times here with Pac-Man. So, thank you for the question. I don't know if that last one counted, so I feel like I don't know. It's not glitchy, so unfortunately that's our first. That 4th place is our. We started off with 8th, so we have 1, 2. That was our last game. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That was our 10th game. We've had the last 10 games. We have 1 4th place, which isn't too bad. The current standing record is 156 wins in the 1st place capacity, and we're very blessed to be able to be part of history to show you that. I don't know if anybody else has that longevity recorded. They could have that record, but we actually have it recorded. So all of the records here are easily for you to access if you want to go ahead and look at Road to the Top, look at any of my tech, all the wins up to 615. All of them are cataloged here live on YouTube. We have the most comprehensive database of the content for this game so far since it's gone. Besides the early access, I believe, as far as recording as much of it as possible through these wins, because of the high wins that we have. People may be doing it now and logging at a high rate, and we do respect the grind on that. But as far as all 615 wins, and also the elimination build to be, the unlock to that and the tutorial and all of that in real time, as far as chronologically goes, we're very happy to have that for you guys as far as a historical archive. Is this journey into Pac-Man in a different franchise aspect and all that too. So really cool. Wow. A ton of time updating the Discord with 15 new chief emotes that are pending approval. That is really cool, guys. Really big things popping for you guys to be able to express yourself when you pick up membership in any of our tiers, and we're really happy that you can at least have that in the base perk for a buy a bit of us caffeine tier, and we also have the significant contribution tier in the mid-level, and as well as the completely unnecessary tier at the highest level, which basically puts you with your finger on the pulse of all the creative process and stuff. All of those membership levels also gain access to our community Minecraft server, which we constantly have been putting work into, and we're mindlessly putting crazy amounts of work into that to make it an amazing interactive role-playing experience that we're ultimately going to be able to share with you guys on a limited basis. So please check that out. Not in a limited as what we're doing with you together, but we'll eventually let you know where you can hang out there and what the bounds of the rules to enjoy that, so that you don't ruin it for the community as a whole. But the freedom of being able to have your own plot of land and deal with all the community of life improvements and stuff on a Bedrock edition of Minecraft. So I know that people that I've talked out in the wild, when I say that we have it on Bedrock, are very surprised and happy because it makes it more accessible, and that's why we picked that format. Not to disrespect Java or any of that, but hopefully you guys will come check us out, knowing that if you get on the membership tiers, that there's a value there, that even if you just watch some of our videos once in a while and you're using it as a way to get into a really cool realm to build some stuff and show some unique personality and flair that sometimes, and not all the time, but sometimes will be featured by us, you'll be able to have that and log that portfolio. So it's almost now, if you decide that you want to be a Minecraft YouTuber, we can talk about the logistics about it, but we're putting you in a situation where you can start creating your content journey there with a really great database of a fun, jump off point in the infinite world that's Minecraft. And I think that that's a really cool thing that we offer that. We're very thankful to Minecraft to be able to supply the ability for us to infinitely expand our imagination in ways that we never thought possible. So thank you to Minecraft as well. All the people that work hard there, the OGs to whatever, everybody that's putting in the time. We wouldn't be able to put in the time if you didn't put in the time to make a game worth investing in. That's we're not. I mean, it's weird because it's like, in a way, you're actively in a simplest level coding a game if you think about it. Nobody really talks about Minecraft to that aspect. That's like they don't call it coding, but you're adding and taking away from something, and they're giving you the toolkit, and it's like you're actively creating the experience. And if it's not to your liking, then you either change it or delete it or start over. Yeah, it's like a really cool thing that you get to do. But just another perk, besides the throw the Chiefs in chat, or the shout outs and playing with us in different games, and being very interactive as far as like suggesting that and helping with the schedule when those things arise as far as the opportunities go. Again, we cannot be more thankful and blessed and humble and appreciative to be put in this position, and it's only by the support from people like you, and it makes this experience way more enjoyable. So that's me, Brian, from the Vid-Bits, just wrecking through this first pack snack of the snack pack, going to 6:23 for that first part, and then that'll be the midway part of the stream, and then we'll finish up on the second half on 6:41 if you needed an update. And after the first one, when we get to 6:23, we'll do a update of the leaderboards and see if people are making moves. We'll drop down the 20th spot and see if the people from the 20 up, and if some of my people have been keeping an eye on. If you've been keeping an eye on us, you've been also following them, and see what kind of journey they've been having as well today, since it's also such a large period of time from when I did the first stream, and it was pretty awesome. Yeah, that was a little bit scary, Matthew. I won't lie.
That's why Dad definitely got to the point where he was a little uh, nervous a little bit, so he wasn't talking too much. I also wanted to come in here and give him a little bit of information, just some background info, just letting him know that I was reaching out to members who got gifted memberships in our earlier stream of Stick Fight. 5 different people got gifted a random membership, and I wanted to let him know that I was reaching out to those people via Discord, letting them know that we got all these new chiefs, as well as they have access to the Minecraft server and such now via membership. So I just wanted to update those people in case they didn't know. But yeah, I'm gonna go to bed, guys. I've been doing so much hard work today, and I'll be back on the grind tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for your constant interaction.
Hey, thank you, man.
Your praise, your encouragement, your guidance, especially when we have those pros stop into chat and give us their 2 cents and give us some guidance on something that we were stuck on otherwise. But you continue your Pac-Man grind, man. Good night. I'm gonna get some rest, and I'm ready to be back on the grind tomorrow.
Oh man, you got some amazing things to do tomorrow. You're gonna be able to hit some benchmarks. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, love you guys. Take care.
Hey, love you, bud. That guy's the freaking best. That's Bray from the Vid-Bits. I'm Brian, and we're hanging out doing some Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle Chomp Champs, ruling as the #1 PlayStation player in the world. And I hope that you're enjoying the journey as we try to get the #1 spot and wrestle it away from Mint Daddy and become the top of the leaderboard in the global situation, knowing that we will be putting the Vid-Bits on the very top. It's the fully door. What are you? You're fully a door. Oh, you should have went for it, bud. I felt so bad for him. What was he gonna do? What was the move? Old cow. Yo, cow. Yep, Ray is the best. I completely agree, Matthew. He inspires me to be a better gamer than I already am, and I know that I inspired him to do all the things that he wanted to do as a child and start to try to actuate his dreams. And he built such a great gaming acumen up before he even went live on YouTube. So I think that that's great that he did not, for his confidence sake, didn't stumble on a lot of the things that he's capable of, and built a bunch of great repertoire of gaming feats that you haven't even seen what he's capable of yet. And it's wonderful that he inspires me and drives me, and we push each other further than we ever thought possible. It's wonderful. He's a wonderful child. guys, just doing a quick math check, and it's probably going to be that we're going to end shy of 6 a.m. EST for our programming block. As far as, like, we end pretty early, but then we start, early as well. So just so you know, that's when it's going to end, by 6 a.m. EST, because I've done the math for, it looks like 20 more dubs to end on that nice round note. If I double check the math, I'll make sure to let you know if it's a little bit adjusted, but if you're trying to hang out with us to the end, that's the end of this pack snack, and then another rack of 18 wins. We're going to go ahead and push to that, which I think that I said the total would be 641, just being transparent. So once we hit that, besides the little overflow, which we like to call Still Hungry and Forget Your Manners, which we talk about and decompress about our session for the day, we'll talk about how things have moved, where we're at, where we're going, and kind of keep you update, fully transparent as to where our moves are, based on the fact that everybody that's playing this game, you can only win, about 6 games every half an hour. So if you're not putting in the work now, there's no reason to try to catch me, because I'm going to put in the work until I get number 1. And even if you do, you're going to have to catch me slipping. And if, like they say, if you come from the king, you best not miss. And when you're trying to beat better than Pac-Man in his own game, while you're dressed up as some crazy character in his mazes and running around and show him ultimate respect, the Pac-Man has got to take his spot back as number 1 in the maze, showing the other ghosts and the other Pac people what's going down, and how we hang and bang in the maze. So I hope you're enjoying me with this journey with Pac-Man, as you get to see him. And then, if you have those feelings about maybe I wanted to see me dressed up as a different character or whatever, do it yourself. I highly suggest that you go out right now and download and be able to participate in the amazing Pac-Mania going on right now with Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle Chomp Champs for, in this case I'm playing on the PlayStation platform, published by our amazing friends here at Bandai Namco. And we are not sponsored, but we hope to be one day, and we're pushing for that because we really love and appreciate their brand and being able to bring experiences like this to you. The cool thing about it is, like, we can create this community that they don't think exists, and it may not exist as big as it could now, but we'll be the infancy of that. Like, everything has its own niche thing. There's games that were very small blips in the history of video games that the community was so driven that they keep those things alive for the people that are passionate about it. So as long as servers are supported, we're going to do our best to be the reigning pack champion. Hopefully at the point where we push so far in front of everybody that we can just do little pack snacks and mini pack snacks, half-size pack snacks and stuff like that. Little just even stuff to the point where just 1 game a day to keep the streak alive while this game is active. And we appreciate the opportunity to do that for you, as I'm doing right now, a snapshot in video game history. So thank you very much for the opportunity to do that, and it's so really cool to be in that position. I'm actually going to leave you for just 1 moment real quick. I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back. I highly suggest that you do a bladder check, perhaps. Make sure that you hydrate yourself. We prefer water around here at the current moment. It's the current style of the day. At the end of this stream, I'll be probably enjoying some tea. If not, I will be having myself some more water and hydrating before I go to bed for the night. But I highly suggest that you, take the opportunity to do that and do like a little mental and physical wellness check, for the day. And then, we're going to wind down for us, which is going to be around 6 a.m. EST. So thank you very much for spending your day with us. It's been a very emotional one, as is always in the Vid-Bits laboratory, as we cook these things up for you, and it's really cool to serve them up on the menu every day. And hopefully you're helping yourself to as much of the buffet as you want. Pac-Man he's chomping away, and I'm going to take that break, and I'll be right back. I just have to use the restroom and double tap some water real quick, and thank you for sticking by. came back and there's a Pink Panther afoot. Ba-na, 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 ba-na. That's probably all I can probably do without. No, I'm kidding. I think that they are on, like I said, YouTube. You can see a lot of Pink Panther there, all the different generations of the animation. So every time I see you appear in chat, I'm very happy. It reminds me of my childhood in a very happy and blessed way. Panther, I feel like your time is coming if these donos with these memberships keep happening. 5 memberships were gifted earlier today, and some people like Karzak and the Vids were given them. And I really appreciate that you hang out all the time, so I'm thinking your time is coming, or it just will pop off for you. But yeah, that was a very exciting thing for us to happen today, and it happened during. We were in a situation to do it during the day 18 of Game of Day May, where we were doing Stick Fight the Game. Missed out on some crazy stuff if you haven't seen it, where Matthew, our sub, he basically whomped the crap out of us. We featured the game, and in real time I did a first impression, and it was also Game of Day May Day 18 game, but as well we were able to put a new situation together where a humble brag is to be put for Matthew. I said I wasn't going to double tap it again, so this will definitely be the third time and the last time I talk about it. And this pack snack, now that I'm humbled about it, but if you want to see more about it, you'll see that in real time by checking that day out, where he whomps the crap out of us in real time after we figure out, and he downloads and gets the game, and he has the server stats to prove that it's, at least that account is new to the point where he had no prior experience, so his first impression as well, and got to get the crap kicked out of us. So humble brag out to Matthew, our viewer, that whomped the crap out of who we can obviously see is moi, Brian from the Vid-Bits, as the #1 PlayStation player in the world. He beat the crap out of me, man. Bum 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 bum. So yeah, the milestones for this one, again, if you weren't in here earlier, it's 23. So 623 and 641 is what will end. So 623 will be the end of the first pack snack, and then 641 the other one, which will be a couple, which we call a snack pack. And we'll be done with that, and be continuing to push ourselves towards our goals, and that'll be the end of the programming day here, which I said will probably end around 6 a.m. EST if you're hanging out with us live, which we hope you are. And if you are, like, share, and subscribe, especially all you night owls that are around the same area in the United States. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe so that you can get more people to see this and hang out with us as we do these things. If not, no worries, no hurries. We're appreciative of you at whatever pace you show up. So show up and showing out. guys, when you see those, and you have 3 guys, let them get them. Unless they don't. Like, if they don't, if they're gonna, like, flush it to the end of the maze like this, you have to get it. But if you're trying to do some crazy stuff, like stack a score, they're gonna need the life insurance more than you in those situations because you're trying to get them to help you stack a score. That was neat. That was neat. Rolled me right in there. Come on, finish it. Use it the opportunity to finish it. Come on. I know you can. Come on. I won't pack you. There you go. Good job. We're going to what was that? Melon. That's nice. That's good stuff. Makes it a little bit more interesting until it happens all the time. Eventually, it's gonna happen all the time. So really, oh, there you go. There's your +1. Go get it. I'll give you some time to get it. Go get it. There you go. That's what's up. And again, who's going to be doing that, risking their streak to give the AI some +1? But I'm going to do it because if it can help me do crazy things like hit some score milestones and see some fruit I've not seen, it makes it interesting for you guys too. So there's a pack energy drink and that guy just stole it from me. There we go, clear that line. Clear it, come on. Good job. Here we go, grapes. Haven't hit grapes but a handful of times, guys. Nice. At least you get to see this in this pack snack. That's the cool thing about pack snacks. Sometimes they're a little bit, you know, flavorless and, you know, but other times they're a little bit more savory. And when there's action like this, apparently it gets a person like Special Sister, that I need to be getting that. Oh, and then they couldn't handle the pressure because unfortunately it gets really difficult. So 20 more wins total, but 2 more of this pack snack. But we're gonna end on 6:41 for the stream, but this half of it, it'll end at 6:23. Oop. One more, and that will be the end of this pack snack, the first half of this stream, which is, in this case, a snack pack, which is a couple of these 18 wins that we go and push our score and push ourselves further into the leaderboard. Alright, so that's the end of that pack snack. Let's go ahead and check out the leaderboard. We had a 4th place finish in that stretch. So there was that, and that round of 18 we got 1st place in every game except for 4th and 1. Other moves pretty much in the global leaderboard here. Let's see if I look for just the top 20. Mothership at number 20, Fanta Pato at 19, Shanimal 18, Daddy Mark 17, Guardian Fan Such 16, Toy Hunter 15, Gamerbull 14, Insanity Drew 13, P-Man 45412, True Carnage 11. Where did that person come from out of nowhere, guys? That's a weird name out of nowhere I didn't see. It was probably on there, but did not hit my radar. Nello, wow, number 10. They're really fervorously playing. If they're that, I just didn't use. I'm not seeing. I'm sure I have to go back and maybe there. But wow, David is number 9. Space at number 8. We got Eve at number 7. So now making it so that Eve is definitely on the splash page. So I can tell you guys that Eve is putting in the work. So I know for a fact that I have to watch them and know that they are putting in some serious time. They do have about 18 wins. Looks like over Ava, and shows you that they can have a competitive score even though the gap is very small, but still 18 wins more, but that's still competitively, it's pretty small there. Then we have Shiva, Ava at number 6, Shiva at number 5, and they are doing some stuff where they're moving around, but they are starting to suffer more losses. I don't know if it's under the stress of it all, or against making some mistakes really early, trying to evolve their tech. We have Socrates that's hung around 489. So they let us get to 500 and be ahead of I-11, but they're letting us continue to push past them, which is one of those things that if you're just trying to stay at the top, you just don't do. So we're at number 3 at 623 and 0. We are the third people to cross the rating of 40,000 threshold, and we're halfway through to the first people to, are the third people to cross 50,000. With now almost 200 between us and Kofi, so we're going to push past that to make it so less than 200 between us, and then there's only about 160 wins between Kofi and Mint Daddy. Now notice that that's not what I'm talking about as far as like actual placement, which is rating. So if you're looking at that, we're at about 16,000 rating. I'm doing the math, that just at 16,000 rating from being up there with Kofi, seeing where our wins and losses might not matter as much, and see where that is. And then of course the difference between us and the leader, which is Mint Daddy, is about 25,000 points. So 25,000 points between the two of them. But between Kofi and Mint Daddy, it's only about 9,000 points. So the rating is really what matters here in Chomp Champ. So I hope that you appreciate the recap there at the end of this pack snack. So we're going to move on now and to the second one. And it's been Brian from the Vid-Bits at the end of this first pack snack of the snack pack. Peace. Alright, separating that, we left off at 623, and we're on the second pack snack of the snack pack here, which is going to be another 18 pack of wins. Hopefully, I'm going to put everything I can into it. You can see that we're trying to chase down the top spot of the local U.S. Eastern Division, which is held by Kofi, and they have 827-0. Now we are really in contention, really up there. We're going to get within the closing 200 victories to try to pass them as a personal goal of mine, which is I don't really want to speak into it till we're closer, so that I'm going to speak it into existence, but I'm really just trying to resonate into existence, a personal goal between the two of us. But we are the second highest rated undefeated packster, or I don't know if you want to call it that, but we have the #1 spot in the PlayStation platform, #2 overall in the U.S. Eastern Division. We are then in the global consideration as the third spot, and we are over, approaching 150 over the next highest person behind us as far as PlayStation goes, as well as, crossing upon 10,000 difference in the rating. So that's a pretty amazing feat. But then, just the second highest undefeated people playing this game, and we've cataloged it all for you guys to follow along with. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. So like I said, we're going to do 18 wins, starting off at 623. It's Brian from the Vid-Bits if you're just hanging out in this separate situation here, the other half of the stream, and hopefully you'll follow us along for 18 more dubs, and then we'll call it a day as far as the Vid-Bits goes. But then you can hang out with us tomorrow, and we can come back with day 19 of Game of Day May, and we're going to ahead and give you a little spoiler for the people that are hanging out in these streams. Game of Day May, day 19 is going to be Stray, and we're going to enjoy that together, as me and Bray are going to hang out together and kind of like do a lo-fi playthrough not the whole thing necessarily, but just get a good, a good sesh in for that session of Game of Day May Day 19. Also, I know that has to work on some Dark Souls tomorrow because he has to keep his skills spry and build off of the last fight as he continues his own personal conquest to go from Dark Souls 3 about at the end now to do the DLC. After that, he's going right along to Elden Ring and then hitting that trying to get to the goal of being able to start the DLC as it comes out live. So he's got his own pressures, his own conquest that he's working on, as well as you see me working on Pac-Man Road to the Top for the Vid-Bits and putting the Vid-Bits on top of the world. So we got some own personal goals here, and I hope that you enjoy those and following along with us, I should say. Don't forget we have duo projects here that we work together, so it's not just me and him doing stuff separately. We do stuff like the Minecraft realm building that we're working on for the community on our community Minecraft server based on, you can hang out with us based on any membership tiers. We also have a lot of Call of Duty zombie content on there where Braid led me through a lot of that for the first time with some of our subs and stuff in some of those situations where we do Easter eggs and stuff like that. Love for you to check out that content. And also, we just did Castle Crashers. We're going to start getting ourselves spry for seeing if we could set the best duo speedrun record. So that's something that we'll be tentatively working on as a duo project. So hopefully you like that. We have the Borderlands series, the Bioshock series that we're trying to get through from beginning to end eventually, kind of crawling through those, as well as Bray does stuff like Plants vs. Zombies, and he's hanging out doing Red Dead Redemption as well as his Conquest, and I'm doing a new series soon that's going to be Arcade Archives, and hanging out with Hamster's Arcade Archives and showing some of the scores off that we have in the virtual arcades there. And then also, I do Dave the Diver. So we have lots of stuff to offer you, kind of giving you a heads up of our programming blocks and stuff that you can tune into right now. It's constantly evolving. But at this point, we're kind of evolving around our big feature project, which is Game of Day May, our passion project. And feel free to check that out. So thank you very much for hanging out with the Vid-Bits. It's Brian, and we're wrecking the shop at the beginning of this new pack snack. We're going to try to see if we can stack up another 18, and then we're going to call it a night, and we really appreciate you hanging out. We're very blessed, thankful, humble, and appreciative to be hanging out with you guys and you spending your time with us, so thank you. Oof. I can tell you I don't really like that scenario too much. Like the top of the maze there, it's one of my weak spots, I can definitely say that. Natural hog, huh? Natural hog? What the heck? So if you've seen, and I love, like, there's going to be a pop quiz, guys. Eventually we'll be able to go through and be like, we're talking about inside jokes, and if you watch Olive Road to the top, like what specifically, we're going to be able to see specifically like where certain milestones were hit, like what jokes were made, inside jokes like that, what like near misses and stuff like that, especially some of the stuff where I only place on the way to the top on specific spots 1 or 2 times and stuff like that. So it's really cool to be in that situation, but man, some of these like natural hog, long hog, oh come on, man, that's a little yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I shouldn't have pursued that. I just was getting super hungry. I forgot my manners. Keeping the grind. Yep, that's right, Matthew. Keeping the grind. Second pack snack of this snack pack. And we're just trying to keep it on that grind to 6:41, and then we're going to call it. And that will be it for this evening, and it'll be around 6 a.m. EST. Hopefully you enjoyed the programming day today, and we'll look forward to more tomorrow with another episode of Game of Day May, Day 19. Quickly approaching the end of week 3 of Game of Day May, which is always bittersweet, but we are happy to be able to serve up a bunch of crazy things like that. Different huge projects. I'm sure we'll have projects usually quarterly here. We just have the main ones right now is Game of Day May, and then we're trying to find out some sort of structure from some of the other ones, but we're definitely going to do an event in October. Hopefully you'll enjoy that, where we feature a bunch of spooky games and games that are difficult and games that make us feel like zombies grinding them away. Keeping on the grind. Putting in the work to reach the top of YouTube, Why'd I do that? I do that all the time. Why do I? There it is. There it is. I fell asleep. There it is, guys. I fell asleep. I fucking lost it. I lost my streak. I lost my streak. Wow. I fucking knew it. I knew it, guys. There goes my perfect record. There goes a loss. There's a win rate. It was going to happen eventually, guys. So there was my pressure. Congratulations to Kofi for being the most highest win rate. I can't believe it. I never said I was going to go flawless getting the record, guys. It was also just a personal record to try to get 1,001. I can't believe I dozed off. It's been really long programming blocks for us. We're pushing ourselves. I didn't look at chat. I dozed off. Wow. I can't believe it, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you were let down. Don't let this distract you from the goal. P-Man lost a match today. And I'm just going to have to get over it and move forward, get that 600, and, it's going to be one outlier, but, again, it's a lot of pressure to stay flawless, and so maybe that was going to help me ease my way to the next leg in this. I'm going to have to shock my system a little bit. I can't believe that I did that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry anybody that was, I'm so sorry anybody that was, looking forward to me getting to that flawlessly. I don't know what else to do other than give you inspiration. If you're demotivated, deflated for me, it stings. It was bound to happen. I said it several other times. I'm gonna have to find a way to second screen when I'm doing these long grinds, when I can't talk in chat, where I can keep myself active, because it's not that I'm tired to do the activity. I'm tired because I don't have a way to keep myself second screening. I'm a second screen gamer, and I'm super disappointed in myself for falling asleep, and that's what it is. So the lesson of that is to don't push yourself too hard. Again, I don't feel like I'm unhealthily playing. The circumstances are in there, and I'm gonna have to just now be married to that not 100% win rate and the one loss. I don't know. I will just let it marinate there. I'm gonna probably, like I said, just deal with it, because I just can't believe it happened. And I completely dozed off. I was leaning forward in the chair, and I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's a bump in the road, so to speak. So P-Man had to deal with it. He was just about to hit his 300th win, and it didn't happen. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, there's always season 2 if they reset the leaderboard someday. There's always the potential of that, but I just apologize. And again, I think that it's one of those things that I put a lot of pressure on myself to not lose any matches at all, and just have a perfect pack record. But at the end of the day, nobody played their perfect Pac-Man game on the first go through, and we were really doing that, guys. We were playing the perfect Pac-Man game from the launch. We didn't lose a single game until now. But I've had a very rigorous schedule trying to keep everything going for you, and we're going to continue to keep things going for you. We're going to keep the ball rolling here in the Vid-Bits. That's just a little bump in the road, and again, it's supposed to be motivating for you guys, so hopefully you're motivated, and you can see that ultimately at the end of the day, the reason why, and I had this speech prepared for myself in case this happened, not necessarily for the reason why it happened. It didn't happen because of anything other than myself. You can clearly see the caliber of my play, and I was also trying to fight things like lag earlier to not let that happen. So the fact that it happened because I literally fell asleep myself, because I got 63rd place, so I'm sure you just watched me default. I don't even want to watch it back. That'll be the big thing in the row, where you watch it where I fell asleep. But at the end of the day, when this thing is super populated with people and we're playing all the time, then basically what we're going to have happen is, you're going to have losses all the time, especially when there's a lot of people going on. So I don't want you to think that it's a distraction. If anything else, I hope it's motivating for you to know that, the little bumps in the roads, the little imperfections are what makes you uniquely you. We're still Pac-Man. We still have a tremendous record. One loss in 62 or 630 matches. The statistical win rate is so high that it can't even drop it down to 99%. So we should feel really happy about that. If anything else, guys, that's the main thing. Take away. It still says 100% win rate, because if you think of statistics, they can't even metric it down to 99%, because we've only lost one match out of 630. So that's a rally, guys. That's a win. Let's fucking go. Let's go that we could take a loss and we still don't have it drop down to 99% win rate, because we won at such a high percentage. And I'm going to go ahead and use that as my fiery pump up. This is like my booster shot, my wake up call. So we're going to still hit that 641. I promise you guys along the road that there's going to be drama and everything as we go through this. So I'm really excited and happy for this, and I'm blessed, thankful, motivated, humble, and appreciative that I can turn this around in a way where most people could make this, that it motivates them because they had some sick, crazy, twisted goal of going 1,000-0. But there's always next season if they reset the servers. But other than that, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep pushing forward. This pack snack had a lot of trauma in it. It's pack eating so full he passed out, and that's okay. That's all right, guys. It'll be a fun quiz question when we say which match did Brian pass out in, and that's why he lost the match, because it's very evident that happened. And I don't have to stress about accountability. It's part of the journey. It's part of the growing part here. And that's okay at the Vid-Bits. We make mistakes. We push ourselves too hard sometimes. I could have just done one pack snack instead of a snack pack, but I'm really trying to push hard so I can get that win, get that dub, be the first person still to do certain milestones. You know what I mean? I can still have the best record and hit 1,000 wins. I can still be the first person to hit the wins with hit 1,000 milestone with a record of one. You never know. Kofi could mess up, and if not, it was meant to be. It still doesn't mean that I can't have statistically the best record for the play that I provide. So Again, I know it's a little ranty, but I woke up to the shock of that happening, and I don't even know how long it happened, but it is what it is. We're moving forward, and I'm very happy to be able to show you the human aspect of it, the human air, the excitability of how we're providing some sort of unique feats that sometimes, we try to push ourselves to incredible bounds, and sometimes we achieve it. Like when I did the stream where I said I was going to get 100 victories in a row without losing one in a continuous stream, so check that out on the road to the top. But other than that, we have situations like this where now I had to rally. I'm going to do another, almost dozen games, and we'll get through the end of the session anyways because we still have pace. I'm still going through like a dictated pace for it all. But I appreciate you guys. It's been a big day for us as a channel. So again, these are the things the little bits, trials and tribulations that make you who you are as a person. So I'll use that as a motivating way to get myself back into fighting trim and not let that kind of stuff happen again. And we can now move, I guess, on to the next stack of victories where we can see where that one happened, and maybe make up for it by getting the next 1,000 in a row without that ever happening again. But I digress. I'm very happy to be in this position though, where I'm still competing at the highest level. So thank you very much for supporting me, and the people that see it, especially as we continue to get more eyes on it. Hopefully they know that I'm trying my best to get that record that I said I want to get, but know that at the end of the day I will learn from this and grow as a performer here on YouTube and a content creator, but also as I push myself through these video game feats, maybe taking again, I'm trying to change my caffeine regimen, still caffeinate but in a different way, and so I'm going to learn from this experience so that I can kind of piggyback my caffeine throughout the day in a way where I don't overextend myself and then doze off and stuff like that. And again, if you're worried about me as a person and we're talking about caffeination, I do less than a can a day, so there's that. So it's not one of those situations where I'm over caffeinating incredibly. So I basically have to just now learn more as myself as a performer when I take that caffeine break to push me through this and stuff like that. So thank you very much again for understanding as a performer, how I'm sorry that I had one of these crazy things. It's also my karma for kind of featuring the undefeated streaks, and I felt like when I finally busted that can of worms where I was starting to give some love to some of the other people, that some sort of thing like that might happen. But at the end of the day, the reason why I chose to do this is because I knew off the backs of my ability to perform the feat that I would have to do the ability to do it dictated by pace. So there's that. And again, I want you to understand full transparency that I appreciate that you guys are still along with me for the ride, and thank you very much. And we're gonna get 11 more wins, and we will call it a sesh. So thank you very much for hanging out for this drama-filled snack pack, the second pack snack, and the other half of that. And it's been Brian from the Vid-Bits. Thank you. It was a day. It was a day for us both to do that. It was a day for us both to freaking do it, is what it is, man. I mean, I have to look at it that way. It happened in the same day, the same 24-hour period. So, so now the highest ranking one is Socrates is underneath me and Kofi is above me, but I'll still take, still have the ability to always be better than Mint Daddy with that one loss, and I'll take that. I just have to make sure it doesn't happen again. I don't want to tie him. But yeah, I'm glad that I at least got up to 600. The way I look at it is, I got up to 600 wins before that happened. So, at least that milestone was crossed, which is crazy because if you even knew the insurmountable pressure that I was feeling when I was around 300 wins, I didn't think it was going to last that long. So, to be honest, talking about streaks kind of adds a little mystique to them, but it also kind of, I won't want to say jinxes you, because ultimately if you can perform under pressure, then that's really where you're going to excel. So, but yeah, everyone gets to see the loss now, and I think the fun thing is I get to earmark it was because I fell asleep, and I've said that several times. There was a couple times I've dozed off. It's because of the situation I have myself sitting when I'm by myself and I'm not able to piggyback conversations off somebody. I start to lean back and I start to get really chill, and I just get to zone in, and I just zoned in instead of leaning forward. I leaned back, guys. It's that simple. So if that's the tech that you can learn here, is if you start to feel tired, cut your streams short, even if you have some sort of like goals for yourself. And if you feel like you're starting to lean back, then because you're relaxing even more, just lean forward and then finish the match and call it. So there is things to learn from this if you're trying to do this as a marathon thing, and then also in perpetuity, trying to not like lose your streak like me. Don't lose your streak because you fell asleep. So there's that. Lose your streak off the back of your play and not off the backs of something because of a thing like that. And again, it's not a cop out. I think it's going to be clear to see when you watch it back, and I just don't want to watch it back. So I don't know if I even will watch it back. I can't even dread to think about the short. Dad's 629, and then he goes win one because he falls asleep on stream. Like, it's just horrible. The thought of it's horrible. But either way, it happened, and it's part of the reality here, part of the drama here. Bray really had it in his mind that he was going to beat Dark Souls 3 today, and he really put his heart into it, and it just didn't pan out for him today. But he's going to use the momentum tomorrow to carry him towards his conquest of beating all the Dark Souls 3 and then the DLC before Elden Ring, and then subsequently before that DLC comes out. So we put ourselves in pressure here for these feats, but I have been constantly reminding you that we hydrate, we take alternate shifts in sleeping, but there's other things that catch up and stuff. And my lesson was about the comfortability that I placed myself, because I really just got too comfortable. So that's another lesson to it. I got too comfortable, and then ultimately I deserved to take that L, because I kept telling myself in several little streams, if I would have listened to my own advice, that I was too lax and falling asleep, or kind of like because of the situation. So now, after this session and then tomorrow, I'll make sure that I get myself in a more favorable position where I stay more alert. I'll get myself where I can stay more hyped, regardless of whether there's people in chat, and we will still keep going on pace to do this thing. So again, I'm super hyped. If it wasn't super late, I'd be screaming how hyped I am about that happening. I know that sounds crazy, but that's how the way that we turn negatives into positives here. What they say, lemons into lemonade. So if you were only watching along the journey because you were hoping that I did it without losing, that was not the story. The story is getting number one, the top of the leaderboard. So thank you very much for continuing that journey. We're going to do 10 more wins, and then we're going to call it. So it's been drama filled, man. I tell you what, I don't know what to say other than I'm sorry, and I've learned something, and we're going to move on. Super ranty and really, I know 18-year-old me around Bray's age, if this was going on and I lost like this, I probably, back in the day without learning my lessons, would have screamed my head off and been really angry. But there's no angry here. It's all love. It's all thankfulness. It's all appreciation. It's all feeling the blessings and being humble and all of that. So thank you very much, guys. Hopefully, you're still rooting for us, because we're still trying to put the Vid-Bits on the top of the global leaderboard. And yeah, it'll be a fun conversation. It'll be like, so what was the one loss who beat you? And I'll be like, myself. I beat myself. So it's totally cool. In my brain, I'm thinking that when we've crossed the finish line, it's going to be around the 1,200 win mark. I don't know why. So since it's going to be around then, for this to happen halfway along that journey, I think, again, it's going to be amazing for the story. So, not that we're curating the story as far as like producing it, so to speak, because we don't know how other people in it are going to move, but everything's happening for a reason, and we're just finding ourselves eligible here. So thank you very much for that too. So at least this was an interesting episode, an interesting pack snack, another half of that snack pack. So just like I said, 10 more of these, we'll call it for the day, and then we'll move on and we'll learn from it and grow together as a community. And I thank you very much, and also thank you very much for Bandai Namco to put me in the position to represent the PlayStation as the #1 PlayStation player in the world on this game. So regardless of that little stumble in the road, it's still not as an irrefutable fact that we're up by quite a bit, way over 10,000 rating, which these losses, as much as they matter to us as far as our ego goes, the rating is really what matters, and that's kind of carried by the experience points that you get, with all the victories and stuff. And the little bit that we lost, the 25 points that we lost, we've already made up since we talked about it, since we've continued to rant about what happened, which we had every right to do, because, it wasn't one of those things I expected to happen. I literally woke up and snapped up and like, I lost. I didn't even have time to linger. I didn't snap the screen. I just moved on, obviously emotionally reacting to it in real time, as I'm, thinking about it. And I think I've learned all the lessons, and it's cool because I don't have to continue to regurgitate that. but you know, as people bring it up or whatever, if they bring it up, I'll mention it, and it's funny, and it's just like I said, just one of those situations where we can laugh about it on our way to number one. We never claimed that we were never going to lose a match, and especially when we're in a situation where we can face some of these people in the upper tier, the upper echelon of play. I'm sure that we will all take L's to each other, because that's basically, you know, how you get better, and some of these people have amazing tech, I'm sure. So there's that, and thank you very much for the future competition that we'll have amongst ourselves. So I'm very blessed for that situation as well. Definitely can't say that there won't be any more thumb titles that say I'm undefeated. That's for sure. So at least there's that. I don't get to use that fun hashtag undefeated, but you know, reigning and defending PlayStation champion, and still going for the leaderboards. Those are fun things that we can say and stuff like that. But I'm gonna have to say that I lose the moniker of undefeated, which is fine. I'm not worried about that. You never know, Kofi's could have the situation happen too, and maybe they'll go flawless till the end of the server time, regardless of whether or not we pass them on the leaderboard. When we do, I know that inevitably we will do that, and when we do, I'm not really stressed about the fact that they can still be the number one undefeated, so at least they'll still have a number one, you know what I mean? We don't need all the accolades that are available in this game, so I'm very happy to know that there's certain ones that now inevitably, due to some things that we could have done, some negligence in our decisions and our planning and stuff, some things that we could have done would have prevented it, but at least it's now a possibility that they can have a number one too. So humbly, I'm happy that that's the case too, because I kind of like, it's fun to be able to share everything together, and not really worry about it too much. It was just more of a fun accolade on top of it. That I didn't even know how that number could have ultimately gone down when it was all said and done. So 9 more. It's still, I mean, I'm still resonating with what happened, and it's so fun though that when so far still I can at least say the one loss is because I fell asleep, as opposed to the one loss was because some of the many things that happened that were crazy, where I almost got in a hairy situation and crested at 32 or whatever. It's just like, I don't know. It's really hard for me to quantify, because I just expect how I was going to react to the first time it happened, because I knew it was going to happen sometime, but like I thought it was going to be because of superior play, not because of fatigue thing based on being ill prepared stamina wise for that specific thing. Mistakes on my play, but the mistake on my play was my planning, and sometimes it's still a mistake on your play. So I think that's there's nothing that can be understated about how important it is to learn from everything, as far as like when you're trying to refine your play. And fatigue is real, and again I keep double and tripling down that it's not that we're unhealthily doing this, because I want to reiterate that I don't want anybody to take this as an example to unhealthily chase your dreams, because that would not make me happy at all. But it will always then still resonate with me that this happened because of me trying to push myself in a way where I got too comfortable, and then I learned from it in a shocking way. So that's an allegory, and I'm very thankful and blessed, humble and appreciative to be in a position to learn that lesson, and especially live in front of you guys. So take it in stride, especially because I'm sure there's been people that are in the same situation as far as accomplishments, especially like going back to P-Man 454. Chief even howled out for him, but little did I know that double that streak over, I would have the same thing happen on the same day, and you guys got to see it live. The only difference was I crested over double the mark that he was trying to right before he reached it, and instead I got a little bit over it, and in my head started thinking, and I didn't want us to verbalize it. I even said earlier on the stream, guys, I don't want to verbalize that crazy goal, which was to go 1,000-0. So I was going to try to be the first person to go 1,000-0. So it's really another thing that don't, when you're manifesting energy and stuff, don't start thinking about all the things that don't really matter. Stay in your lane. So I am going to harp back to that and learn from that. I'm going to keep using this as a motivating tool to learn from this and move on. So I'm very thankful that it didn't happen in some crazy milestone either, because I like numbers and stuff, so I don't even remember what it was. But 8 more to go, and then we'll end this pack snack. Gotta power through. Definitely learning from it, but yeah. Lots of people lost their undefeated streak today. Lots of people, guys. It really wasn't just me. Like, it's weird. Like, as a statistical ebb and flow of this, and I told you, like, if you went down, it was like 27 at first, and then 29 to get to the 7th or the 10th person that had 0 losses. So that trio is still plugging away. Shy. And then all the way down to, yep, it's, I think that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yep, I was 10, so now somebody else gets to be that, now Socrates gets to be number 2, It's just a little bit bittersweet, because I started getting a little feisty about it and getting a little competitive, just trying to make it fun. So I'm very thankful again to be in this position with you guys to, learn and grow from that as a person that's trying to. Also, it wasn't until I started featuring people in the leaderboard that it got to the point where I feel like my ego had to have a check. So thank you very much for that too. We're all learning together. It just felt like the right thing to do, though, to start to feature some of these other people that are making moves to make this more of a journey that you could connect to and follow through with. So there's that as well. It's all part of the journey. It's raw and it's uncut. Like, it's not like we were going to, edit it or make it like what happened type thing. It organically happened, and I couldn't be more thankful for a situation where that can occur, and organically like that, and give me a good part of the story and a good lesson and stuff. When people talk about, oh, you took that loss, like, yeah, well, I could talk about that then. But that's the rest I'm going to talk about that for this pack snack. Instead, I'm going to use the rest of the other half of it to pretty much meditate on what happened and, move forward. So hopefully, you guys can too. And I know that you're probably sad if you wanted us to have like that flawless victory for the Vid-Bits. Don't worry, we're still going to knock it out of the park. Again, we lost one match and it was so high of a statistic that the game doesn't work in point decimal. So decimal points, like, besides like even ones, so it couldn't have dropped us down to 99%. So that's pretty damn impressive within itself, because there's other people that like would lose one match and it would be say 99%. And for somebody like me that likes to, at least, it's still as near flawless as they can compute. So there's that, and let's be thankful for that, guys, because it's still an amazing thing, especially when we crest across 1,000 victories, and then ultimately around, over that round, I think between 11 and 1,200, depending on Mint Daddy starts moving before we hopefully inevitably push ourselves into the #1 spot. And if not, then it'll be a different marathon, and we'll still get that place, and we will be able to say that we called our shot. We never said that we were going to do it flawless. We said that we were going to do it, and we will still do it nonetheless. The mission statement is the same, guys. Trying to reaffirm and lock down that mission statement to put ourselves in the #1 on the global leaderboards of Pac-Man, Mega Tunnel Battle, Chomp Champs, by our good friends at Bandai Namco, which, thank you so much, guys, for making an amazing game. I'm having so much fun, learning a lot about it, learning a lot myself, It's also like this series is also an allegory for life in a way in some cases. Not that I get super spiritual, but I really enjoy the time I spent with it and learning about myself as a person. So that's cool that this was just another one of those lessons, and hopefully it was exciting for you. Again, like naturally building drama occurring in real time based on how it flows and our eligibility. So thank you very much for that. It is like such a lesser pressure off my back though. I'm not trying to get another one, but it's just like the whole if you think about it in other respects, the channel has grown with some really dedicated members, and some really great things have happened today that have made it so the balance is so tremendous that I'm still on cloud nine about the growth, the connections that we made, the stuff like that. So I don't have any regrets about that, and we can look at the loss however we want, but that those type of things make it easier for me to go on and try to continue with this conquest and this feat because of people like them that will continue to watch us and be able to be exposed because of the exposure that the number one spot and everything, and defending it and trying to be a brand ambassador for this company and stuff. We're trying our best to look at the logistics of that. So, and we've touted it several times. It's not like we're shying away from it at this point. So the realness and rawness of our brand and everything that me and Braden bring together as the Vid-Bits is just unparalleled as far as like the metric of the growth and how much commitment we put to the product. Obviously that sometimes realize falls into the category of being fatigued, but we're willing to work really hard for it, so we're putting in the grind as they say, and no regrets or anything, and we'll just keep moving forward and learning from it as people and pack people. See, I'm still, as I bounce back from that, that little pack nap, we're going to call that the great pack nap. That one loss, well, that was the pack nap. It's fine. It's totally fine, guys. I will always poke myself about it more than you guys ever will, and if you do and you decide that you want to rib me about it, I totally get it. Because again, I defeated myself for the first time, and nobody still has defeated us. We're still undefeated because I lost because I fell asleep. So I don't even know who chomped me. It was some AI, and if it wasn't, I hope it was a real person. It would be really cool if it was. But they don't even get the satisfaction of being a real person. It was a bot, and I can also deal with that too. So many ways I can ration it out if you want to be like, look at the semantics of it. But at the end of the day, learn and road, and we're continuing to chomp our way to the number one spot in the U.S. Eastern Division and global divisions at this game, and we're doing a really great job at doing it. Just one maze at a time. We have some grapes there. That's some good luck there. We get some grapes. I didn't chomp him because I'm gonna see if maybe like the I was gonna say maybe the trade-off will be that we'll get a 50,000 point game, but that's fine. I digress. 7 more wins, and we will be able to call it. The other half of this snack pack, this pack snack, has been very interesting. Very, very interesting. So who's the one in 364 out of 360, or 634 out of 635 matches? It's me. It's myself. My own inability to not lay into my comfy seat and push forward when I need to not be super comfortable. That's the whole catalyst we've talked about pain being a catalyst for growth. Well, I was too comfortable, too relaxed, just so in the zone, and just slip back instead of pushing forward. And there you go. There's the metaphor for why the L happened. I fell asleep, and you can see it live, and we're moving forward. Full transparency. We got just 5 more coming for you here. We're going to end at 6:41. Like we said, this is a pack snack, so because I didn't have a specific stream time, and other than just 2 of those stacked together, it's not going to be like longer than that, which still is about an excellent stream territory as far as rarity comes for us. So I hope you guys appreciate the effort we're putting in. Sorry that I took the L, but at least it came up with a funny story. If you want to see that, check back in the earlier in the stream, and you'll have some fun stories to tell your friends about the time that Pac-Man decided they wanted to do what he's doing right now, which is doze off. Oh yeah, but I'm talking about you. Talking about you, Packy. We made. Oh yep. Yeah, that's how I feel too, buddy. It's all good. So, that was also just a metaphor for a situation where you should not put yourself in a situation where you overextend. I should have probably just done 1 pack snack, so, You know, if I learn in that case that I don't always have to do a snack pack when I do a pack snack, because there's only been like one on its own, I've always felt like I'd have to push multiple ones. When we have extra stuff in the content block or extra parts of the day, I'm gonna make sure I curb that more. But unfortunately, there isn't a lot of time to slow down on a race to the top, because it's every day that we play that the two people in front of me don't make any moves. It makes us even more motivated to make those moves so that we can get this done quicker, so we can move on to other things. Not that we're not going to continue to play this game and support Pac-Man, because we love this game and we're hoping to help a community blossom about it, and very much are interested in some sponsorship with you guys at Bandai Namco. So hopefully that you are interested in talking to us about being able to have a relationship where this game and a lot of your great games can get more exposure, and we love your games and are happy to play them and feature them on the channel, where they can, even a game like Pac-Man, show you some exciting drama and a bunch of stuff like that, with stuff like, in this case, competitive leaderboards, and in other situations like games like Dark Souls, the sense of accomplishment of beating like a story-like RPG where you are literally playing the hero, where you have to use a bunch of intellect and logic behind you to accomplish great things, and you feel the weight of these huge accomplishments, and you feel like you can do anything. So, and that's not just play that yourself, but it's also live vicariously through other people that are playing it. And we see that in an example on our programming block, when Bray is definitely having his own conquest as he goes through Dark Souls 3 and inevitably finishing it, so that he can start the DLC and the time crunch of then going straight onto Elden Ring and getting through it to the end, to starting the new Elden Ring DLC. So it's important to have these huge dream things that you do too. In this case, mine is to be Pac-Man #1 player in the world, and in Bray's it's to keep you guys entertained in a basically a traveling journey through getting his skills ready, so he's very spry and sharp, and exploring the new DLC of Elden Ring with everybody in real time, as we get to explore that and experience it in real time, and the wonderment of it all. So that game is very breathtaking visually, so to watch him be able to sweep through that, and it's going to be amazing, because it'll be at the same time as everybody else. That's the goal. If he somehow doesn't hit it, we're not going to push himself super physically over the edge to get there, but he's going to try his best to get there, and I think that he's very capable. It's over 30 days that he has to finish just the DLC for Dark Souls 3, and then just to start playing Elden Ring. So I think it's manageable for him, as far as like how he executes and chalks out goals and stuff like that to get through Elden Ring in like the 30 days or whatever, after he gets through the Dark Souls 3 DLC, to be able to start that on time. It's obviously a race that everybody else is going for. There's another third place win. So see, if I got super upset about that kind of stuff now, I would be like demotivated. But it's late, and also I do think that Bray was right, that besides my falling asleep, that I feel like the patch has increased. A patch was stealth dropped during one of the server updates that we saw when the maintenance periods that we stealthily deployed in the background, that basically the ghost AI, especially at the Chomp champ level, I do believe that it's kicked up a little bit, personally. Yeah, Gray is definitely the best at Dark Souls that I know, as personally. I mean, I'm not saying that there's other people in our community that aren't good, but the people that I know personally and can touch base physically and give a fist bump to, he's probably the best player that I know. 1 second here, I gotta refresh the game because it did not count that win, and then we'll get the dubs to go out to the 641. And the fun thing is, whoever ends up editing this will have, hopefully they can tie it all together for you in a way where it's my rant at the loss was a little bit of ranty, but if we could give a super cut where it's not super, I don't know, it shouldn't sound like desperation to make you not feel bad for me, because those are situations in our life that we grow for. But these next 4 dubs, just marinate on that and realize that I'm doing the best I can for all of us, because I wanted it just as bad as I want it for you. But first and foremost, you have to want it for yourself in order to have an opportunity to actuate it. And when you go back and watch the first impressions of this series, you can see me, the cogs turning, the wheels turning, and formulating the plan that we were going to try to do this. If you're a logic-based thinker, especially when you're a leaderboard chaser, you have to look at how pace is and look at how your lane is and your skill and see how you rise, and that'll let you know whether or not it's a time sink, because ultimately it can be a time waster if you can't hit the goals there. It doesn't mean that you can't continue to sharpen your goals as an arcadester in that specific genre, that specific game, but make sure that you set yourself reasonable goals so that you don't lose too much time doing the one specific game and then not be able to do other things. But in this case, we're trying to do the pace that we feel is right. We're making ourselves eligible to the process, keeping ourselves eligible. That's very much key. But sometimes everything happens for a reason. In this case, I had a hidden stressor. I had two things, guys. I'll be fully transparent. I was upset in the back of my head that I had a lot of pressure because I wanted to do 1,000 and 0. So now I don't have the pressure of that anymore. I also had the pressure that I was going to be fighting to keep that undefeated streak the entire time. So I don't have that pressure anymore. And then I also how I was going to lose that first match, against some AI bot, because there was a couple times in the early going ons that I finished like 30th and 29th because of some dumb mistakes tech wise, or I thought I was going to lose that first one to lag. So for humorous purposes for me to be able to lose that first one because of my own petard, like wasted on my own petard, as they say, which I can't really explain the full breadth of that statement, but that I lost because of falling asleep at 63rd position. So it's just funny. It's funny, and it gives me an opportunity to kind of laugh and chuckle and take this a little bit lighter. We only said Dab was undefeated at this for like the little bit of some of the earlier splash cards and the title screens for these, but now I don't have to worry about that. And again, I was talking about that's an accolade now that Kofi can continue to try to carry on. If Kofi does lose a match sometime, then we'll be tied for them possibly in the future. But if not, they can be number one at the number one undefeated spot, and still we can have the number one spot globally, and we can all have a number one and spread the wealth. So I love that potential. Still, we are the number one ranked PlayStation player in the world of this game, and we only didn't even bump down a percentage because of having such a high win-loss percentage that one couldn't even drop it down even a percentage of a percent, like 1% of 1%, it seemed like. So I'm very thankful for that. So there's things that we can look at to kind of like bring up the weight of it, and not bring down the weight of the situation, because we're all supposed to learn from it. But thank you so much for getting a little bit of drama tonight, especially because during Game of Day May, we had no plans for Pac-Man, the Chomp Champs, to like run the story that it's just naturally coming up with. It's writing itself, and we're happy to be able to run that one-on-one with Game of Day May. And so all the little hiccups that happen with this being added to our programming block, I think that they're happy little mistakes, happy little miracles. They're not really mistakes, they're just happy little miracles that make it interesting. Again, I've been talking more about the drama of the series, and if I just won against everything every single time and just slammed my way to the top in like these huge lengthy sessions, and there was no competition at all, it would be fun, but it'd be a little bit boring, and it wouldn't have the drama that there is here. So I'm glad to have provided a little bit of that for you tonight, especially if you are exclusively in here seeing it in the very limited live format, which is fun because I don't know if my ego at this stage in the game could have handled a bunch of ridicule, and I'm sure some of the people that really love us in chat would have not been able to tolerate that. Had people been really mean to me about when that happened or whatever. But again, I don't know how to explain it till it happens, that how funny it is that you wake up and you realize that you lost a streak that you have put so much effort to maintain, and it really didn't matter. It didn't matter at the end of the day, guys. It was an arbitrary thing. I think that I can be happy that I hit the metric of 600 and 0 before losing it, and then obviously I could feel the weight as an empath of somebody like P-Man 454, which is just shy of 300 when it happened to him. So it's not just me, guys. Some of those couplets that were there at the beginning of when I started featuring the people that were undefeated on the leaderboard started having some stuff happen to them the last day or so. So I'm happy to feature people. So, but at the end of the day, I think that from now on, now that I've lost my undefeated streak, I'm not going to keep touting other people. We'll just go ahead and start just like talking about the movement in the top 20, and we'll just go from there. That way we don't have to like add the karma of like stressing about touting a streak or whatever. Also, any type of future undefeated streaks I will leave to chat and people that are hanging out to kind of count. That way I don't put the pressure on myself about undefeated streaks, and we're just really now dialed into the race at the end. It's not about anything other than a couple fun things like getting 50,000 points in a maze with somebody, getting 100,000 points in a maze with somebody. So eating the mid, something past watermelon or lemon, and then also eating the key. Those are the goals. But ultimately, at the end of the third match, so 641, we'll go over one more. We'll go through the 20th at the top, and then we'll basically recount where we're at, and we just can't tout that we're undefeated anymore. So it's totally fine, and it's pretty cool that that's going on. So thanks a lot to Matthew. Yeah, I'm not going to fall asleep in these last few games. I did pause for station identification, even though you didn't hear me. And off mic, I had a motivating speech from Bray. He kind of woke up in the middle of it. He kind of sensed something was going on, and he's just so amazing to me, guys. He's just so supportive, and he said the same thing that I said, but he didn't even really hear me say it because he was going through some stuff. And he had a conference call that he had to go on, but he definitely motivated me too, guys. He's fired up and pumped. We're just like, it's almost like if you stub your toe and it makes you just be more mindful, so that you can actually better, or like that motivating part of a race where that's when you just get that little bit extra, so you start going a little bit harder. So that's all it's going to do is restructure how I finish this up and the ebb and flow of that. But that's coming soon. It's going to be within the next week or so that we'll cross that finish line, and I know it's coming soon. I'm very happy and blessed for that. The only caveat is, if the two people in front of me decide to wake up and start being more active and do lengthy stuff, but they've been dormant for a couple of days and they're really giving me a chance to catch up. So there's a chance that they're ready for this to be a great race, and they know that they don't want to give up their specific spot. So when they see that we get closer to theirs, that they'll start making more moves, and I'm excited for that too. So even though we're not going to be in the same race together per se, for them to be making those moves to see how many sessions they can min-max and stuff like that, and that's really what it all is them being able to min-max their sessions and schedule it out versus how we do here at the Vid-Bits. So it's so exciting still. It's so awesome. It's still such a journey. It's still such a chase. It's still such a conquest, and I hope that you are dialed in now more than ever, and it's more real for you, that it's still something that we have to work for, but now there's just a little bit more weight to it, a little bit more gravity to it, and a little bit more risk and reward versus what's going on. I guess it's probably not the best way to put it, but I'm also tired and just trying to get the last couple games in. So thank you for just sticking around for the end of this pack snack, the second one of this snack pack. So 90-minute sesh is probably definitely longer because it's loose and I fall asleep and all the craziness has ensued, but it's definitely memorable and a fun chapter and a fun footnote in the chronicling of this journey through Pac-Man, Mega Tunnel Battle, Chomp Champs, through our good friends at Bandai Namco. So it's not sponsored, but want to be sponsored. See the journey, see the drama, see all the thrills, chills, spills. And what with the dills? We call him What the Dills. Like, what the dill? He fell asleep to lose his record? Yes, he did. That's cool. You have to worry about Blue Bonnet killing me, and for the third, you don't have to worry about Dill Pickle or whatever, you don't have to worry about that. You worried about Vid-Bits falling asleep and probably just walking against the wall. I'm probably not gonna look it back. I'm probably not. We'll talk to the content manager, which is when me and Braid together have business meetings and decide whether or not we're gonna spin some of these into shorts, whether or not it's funny to poke fun of my falling asleep shit and just snapping. Oh, Dad wakes up and realizes he's 63rd place and he lost his streak because he fell asleep. I don't think I'm going to need that chamomile tea after this. I'm just going to be able to crash. That's bad. So much fun though. Also guys, this I guess the caveat, not to go super crazy into it, but like lighting's important. We're gonna have to get better lighting here in the lab. Like we have like mood lighting and it's soft. So like when it's lighter or later at night, especially when Bray is alternating in the production schedule where he's sleeping on my off time, I'm just gonna have to increase the quality of the lighting in the studio where like it basically pops more and keeps me more awake because it's just soft to be like easy to the eyes and also not draw too much attention from what we're doing. But like when I'm trying to stay focused and like it would probably pop off the walls a little bit and kind of keep me more awake, So in that situation, especially like I usually don't have like the fatigue at the end of the night where it's going to be an issue. So it's literally just because I'm doing long hours of this and pulling the sessions of this that's making it so I'm even drowsy, but also because I'm so in the zone, guys. Like I'm meditating. I've told you that so much times. I'm meditating when I'm in the zone and everything. So I'm lulling myself. Pac-Man's like singing me a Pac lullaby, lulling me to sleep. So 2 more wins, and we're gonna hit 641, and we will be able to call this session. So. Thank you so much, Matthew. Shout out to Pops for grinding every day on this to get the best channel on #1, and Brave for supporting the journey. Absolutely appreciate that. It's motivating, especially as we cross over the finish line on this session here, this excellent session, which to Vid-Bits, an excellent session is 3 to 5 hours in stream. So, you know, if you don't know our stream rarity, and I'll kind of shout that out right now, when we do streams like this, and especially when we're tag teaming on this, it's definitely easy when we're not doing a bunch of Game of Day May stuff to hit these marks without, you know, the fatigue here that's real. We have excellent stream rarity here, that's 3 to 5 hours. Then we have epic stream rarity, which is an 8-hour stream, followed by a legendary stream that's followed up at 11 hours and 55 minutes, or the max singular upload on YouTube, and then followed by a mythic stream, which we will probably only accomplish that feat once a year, which is a 24-hour stream. And when we ever do these for you, we will cut them up into 3 8-hour increments, so that'll be part 1, part 2, and part 3, so none of them cut off in the middle. And that way it's basically a 24-hour journey, and we'll have the beginning, we'll have the middle, and we'll have the last leg of the journey when we do that 24-hour stream, and it'll be awesome. Also, maybe able to let us section it into like a marathon thing where we would pass off like a feat or something for like the first 2 parts of it, and then do something crazy the second. But we'll curate that and let you know when that is, so that you guys can follow along when we do that crazy stuff. You know, if you have a work job, maybe, you know, request off, and like we can all healthily like talk about how we can actuate you guys hanging out with us for the most with that, and make it like almost like a big sleepover type situation where we're all hanging out playing games and talking about it and eating junk food and stuff like that, but all doing it virtually, which would be awesome. You know, multiplayer games, we can all do all of it and figure it all out, where it's just like, you know, all the stuff that I wish that we could do together, like, you know, we're doing like a gamer camp where everybody gets together and learns tech and you know, competes against each other and stuff like that. But there'll be more details when we talk about that mythic stream. The reason why it's mythic rarity is because it only happens once a year, and it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be an event, like how you feel about Game of Day May. And, you know, I'm glad to be able to start to promote that. You know, and I think that the only reason why I can too is because you see me and Braden trading for that with conquests. That's really like, I haven't really verbalized it, but the conquest thing is to kind of train us up for a 24-hour stream. And again, I don't believe that any YouTuber should push themselves to do that more than 1 time a year. But it's awesome to drive initiative, to you know, bring eyes to the product, but also to show that we have great ability to achieve gaming feats like this and stuff like that. So I'm very thankful, humble, appreciative, and, you know, blessed to be able to have an opportunity to talk about that kind of stuff to you in the future when it's going to come up in our programming blocks. We'll have to also settle it in with like the best time to do it. You never know, like some of it may also be like, it may make it may be like 24 hours where like you have all of your favorite shows, like you'll have a trial Tuesday in there, or it won't be, maybe if it's not Tuesday, it'll be a trial game will be in the 24 hours, and we'll do that for a couple hours. We'll do a first impressions, we'll do some speed runs. I mean, it'll be like a smorgasbord of everything that we offer so much. Like for 24 hours you can watch a stream of the Vid-Bits doing live everything that they offer as a content channel. So, you know, that's so exciting to me, because we were really trying to like organically find a way for the theme of that to you know, marry up with the concept. And, you know, even like Game of Day May, it's an evolving theme, so even if we do it one way one year, we don't have to necessarily do it the next way the other year, and we'll see what sticks. So I hope that you're excited that the backs of after the big loss, that we can at least talk some good stuff in existence, some positive energy about some future plans and some big stuff, you know. Me and Bray produced this so organically that we, you know, the ideas that we've been talking about have been so like on sync. You know, I'm not stressing about like divulging some of this concept, and then maybe him being like, all he'll do if anything else is like take it and refine the theme, which is great, because we have the ability to have like the critical eye with each other about what the projects mean to us and what we think that they should do. You know, believing in each other and the scope of the projects, even as they naturally occur. We don't know what they mean. Like, you know, I don't know if you've ever had the "I guess I'm doing this now" thing. Like, well, sometimes you find out that you're that good in a situation that you guess you're doing this some. Segueing to sometimes if you can't find the guy, maybe it's you. Well, I found out and I woke up one day after the first day of doing the first impressions of this game that I woke up and found out that I'm going to be the Pac-Man Global World Champion and help put our brand into a public eye, and also be able to vicariously make sensical moves towards showing the Bandai Namco that we would like a logistical sponsorship with them, and that we're brand ambassadors and we love their products, and it logistically makes sense to push them because we push them anyways for free. It would just be great to be able to have the ability to do giveaways, review codes, get early access, stuff like that. And like right today we had Matt. Oh God, I don't want to mispronounce William Grieve. He donated, super chatted a couple, or I get him confused sometimes. He donated a couple times, and it was basically able to help pay for a third or a fourth of the DLC that Bray is going to get to finish Dark Souls 3. So, that's part of his conquest, and that guy kind of jumped in there and was able to help us do that. And it was amazing to know that he did that for the backs of doing that. Like, if you look at the chat, he said, yeah, doing that, hope this helps pay for the DLC. That's the kind of thing that we're trying to do transparency wise with how you help us monetarily. So we're very blessed to have that situation happen. So okay, cool. If you don't know what the next game of day May is, I already said it, so that's cool. I won't say it again, so I won't. It's only kind of an Easter egg thing then for people that saw it, and that's kind of cool. So I did say 641 wins because it was married up with 641 matches, but that would already means that I played 18. So I guess this last one to put us back to 641 wins which is the 18 matches. I said 18 dubs, but for my sake in my brain, I'm gonna go ahead and do this last one as we are still somehow hungry and we forgot our manners. And we'll finish this out and kind of like wrap this up, and it's gonna be right before the 3.5 hour mark. But I hope that you guys have learned something from this one, this pack snack, and this other half of this, so the snack pack, that don't push yourself too hard, don't be too hard on yourself. Realize that you are loved and other people care about you, as in the people in the chat. Matthew kind of built me back up, and Bray built me back up after seeing this, and I was blessed enough in this situation, before our channel gets even more eyes, that unfortunately when you get super large exposure, you do have to deal with trolls. We're blessed that we have the reach that we have now is not like that. So eventually one day there'll be so many people in there that some people could say something to motivate me. If I unfortunately spend too much time not staying in my own lane and peep it out, it could throw me off in my game. But instead, I have a very loyal person that's been hanging out with me, doing these pack snacks late at night, and I can't thank you enough, Matthew, for still pumping me up about it and everything. It shows you the real journey of this is when everybody is able to watch this as a supercut and everything, or over time being able to see how it was cataloged, how emotionally I was helped and supported by somebody that came in because they felt compelled to follow this journey and this feat that we're creating. And I don't even know what your personal connection is as far as how much Pac-Man you've played and how it's affected your life, but the fact that you're also just being able to hang out with this and follow this journey is just amazing for me, and I'm very thankful. Gonna get this last dub. We definitely learned a lot about ourselves. We had in this 18 19 almost, because of the overflow match sesh, we definitely had some turbulence, the most turbulence of the run. So there is that, and we will bounce back from this, guys, because we didn't even drop a percentage a point in our wins. We did give hope to somebody like Kofi that he can still hit 1,000 wins without a loss, so good luck to him, and I hope that he does it. I'm rooting for him. If he doesn't, I understand the pressure, because it was something that P-Man 454 dealt with, and unfortunately before he got to his 300th win, he succumbed to it, and we just got ours like over 615, 620 wins. We had our first loss due to fatigue, and that's what it was, guys. Falling asleep doesn't sound as sexy as I overcame myself to fatigue. So it's all good. Don't make yourself too comfortable in your gaming chair if you're trying to stay awake and spread for long activities, and know that we're not the only people that have tried these marathon things. People go for high run games and zombies. Back in the day, old school arcaders would do marathons where they were standing up, leaning up against machines for long periods of time, getting some of the craziest records in the world, like Star Wars Arcade, which is like a multi-day record. So we're not trying anything super crazy here where it's like we're trying to do anything, get negative attention for health reasons. We're hydrating, we're taking naps and stuff like that. We're sleeping. We're learning how to caffeinate in a proper interval. So if you watch the fact that we've done between 55 and 60 hours of this content so far since it's been launched, and trying to have the biggest compositive database about it, then obviously mistakes will be made. So very happy to have actuated those in real time. Hopefully you will learn from them. If you don't, then your lesson is to think about considering that other people aren't telling you stuff for anything other than your health. When they say I'm saying this, I'm not saying this for your health. Well, I guess it's essentially for your health, not hopefully you don't overexert yourself way, but just know that sometimes when you're running those long marathon sessions and you think that you should call it, and I had that the other day, like if I think it's a pack snack, then I know that maybe there's a chance it's not. Pack snack is the smallest increment I thought was reasonable, and maybe I have to come up with an increment that's between a pack snack and just a half. I don't want to just stream for a half an hour, so it would have to at least be 12 wins. So 12 wins would be about an hour. So maybe I need to come up with a terminology for that. And then if some reason, even in the auxiliary part where a pack snack is becoming fatiguing based on the rest of the programming schedule, I could still get some ground, because I just don't want to lose any time, guys. Anytime I log in here and these guys haven't made any moves, that's good stuff for us, because then we're getting closer to the finish line of putting us in the number one. And I think that's where a lot of my frantic feeling is. Hey, William, I was just talking about you. I don't have that information with me, to put it in the link in chat. And Bray's asleep. I'm just now finishing this. But please get with us in the programming day. After we sign off, you'll be able to get it. He's definitely more savvy to it. I don't have that link. I apologize. But thanks for coming at the end of this. It was definitely eye-opening for us. We unfortunately fell asleep and suffered our first loss ever in this game. And there is benefits to that, and we learned and grew from it. But at the end of the day, that third place there, and we bumped off that crazy, nasty 63rd that happened. So it's all good. We're going to go ahead and do a recap at the end of this session real quick, so we can wrap it up on time before 3.5 hours of stream. So that's a situation where we are going to be in what we consider excellent stream territory, which is anywhere between 3 to 5 hours. So any of these snack packs fall in that category, because it's more than one pack snack, which is a 90-minute sesh. So let's go ahead and do one more recap of the boards, and this time with the even more humble, not worrying about bringing attention to the undefeated streaks, because the karma of that and flirting with that and getting that touted has made it so not only P-Man lost his streak, but we lost ours as well. So P-Man lost it before 300, and we lost ours just over double at 600. So let's go ahead and look at where we've gotten. We are now 10,000 points behind the next point, or ahead of the person that was the former ruler of the PlayStation console port of this game, or either the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. I believe it's cross-platform, so that's why it's even more mighty that we're ruling for PlayStation, as we're over the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 guys. So that's awesome. So it's about, 150 dubs, but also about 10,500 on the rating, which is amazing. If you've been keeping track about that, you only get 75 rating per win. So that's pretty awesome that we are in that situation there. We've got Kofi, of course, that is, let's see, doing the math here, 159, 160, roughly like 188, something like that, away from us. So we've closed the gap there. That's not that many sessions away to even get into consideration where we will be second in the global, so second local and second global. And if we do that, then we also, by proxy, by doing that, would be number 1 in the United States Eastern Division and number 2 in the world. So we have that close. We've closed that gap a lot. So there's so much fire, guys. Let's go. Hopefully you guys are still pumped up. I'm so pumped up. So you know what I mean? It's one of those situations where, I hope that you guys are continuing to join us in this journey, and I don't want you to be demotivated. So let's go in at the end, before we get to the 3.5 hour mark, and sew up this snack pack and this legendary, or this epic, this excellent stream. We got Mothership at 20, Fanta Pato at 19, Shanimal, which came out of nowhere, guys. Shanimal wasn't, I don't think, on the 20, in the top 20. Daddy Mark at 17, Guardian Fan Such at 16, Toy Hunter at 15, Gamer Bull at 14, and Sandy Drew at 13. Unfortunately, you can see that P-Man hasn't got on after his defeat, so ultimately he's having to deal with what I'm feeling. True Carnage here is 1 win away from 300. Again, look, if you looked at how these little couplets of undefeated trios, it's just been crazy since I drawn attention to it, and it wasn't anything other than to try to, pump us up in announcer style. So, then we got, the top 10, True Carnage, Nello, David at 9, Space at 8, Ava at 7, Eve at 6, Sheba at 5, Socrates at 4, we're at 3, Kofi at 2, Mint Daddy at 1, and that will be the end of this session of Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle Chomp Champs. And this has been Brian, your reigning and defending Pac-Man Chomp